What are you doing? What are you doing? Shabbat Shalom. You are definitely resting, aren't you? Yes, you are. On my nice clean bed. I did my laundry. Yay! It's been, geez, 3 weeks. So anyway, I'm battling my demons this morning. I've been up since 4. Should have had my dishes done. They're not. I could leave that one on. Right. I don't know. So anyway. You like my hat collection? My meek mom, Deborah, made this for me a long time ago. I used to have a big hat collection. I'm starting up another one. I love my hats. Gets me out of fussing with my hair, which I'm doing anyway. I feel weird right now. I'm definitely under demonic attack. And I'm definitely mourning Seva. I don't feel good. You know? I got bad writer's block. I haven't done written my blessing prayer for that one person. And it's been weeks now. I have writer's block. I can prove it. Look. Empty pages. I know what I want to say. I can see it in my head, but I just can't get it out. So I don't know. I'm going to have to ask somebody to help me. So I know I'm not looking that great today. I didn't get my house cleaned, and I know today is the Sabbath, but I'm going to clean my house today. That's kind of that. All right, so I'm going to read Joel. Oops. Stayeth, beareth, noweth. I did not get 2 points. So I'm going to read from the English Standard Version. The word of the Lord. All right, I'm already having an issue. See, that's kind of why I like the Hallelujah scriptures better, because they use Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh for Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh and Yeshua for Yeshua. They don't use. I'm looking for Joel. No, it's not there. It's up here. I'm already stoned. Excuse me. This happens all the time. Daniel. Come on, where's Daniel? Daniel. Good morning, Russian son. How are you? Yeshua blessings. I don't feel good today. Like, emotionally. All right, now I can't find Daniel, darn it. In my hallelujah scriptures, I can't find Daniel. Come on. Come on, Holly. I'm not used to this book, that's why. There's so many people that I just need to sit down and reach out to that I haven't done. And I kept saying I would. All right, this isn't going to work. I'm not going to find it. All right, the word of the Lord. So that's you, Abba on the throne, I guess. That came to Joel, the son of Pethiel. Hear this, you elders. Give ear, all inhabitants of the land. Has such a thing happened in your days or in the days of your fathers? Tell your children of it, and let your children tell their children and their children to another generation. What the cutting locust left, the swarming locust has eaten. What the swarming locust has left, the hopping locust has eaten. And what the hopping locust left, the destroying locust has eaten. It's in the 20s outside. I went out at 4 a.m. and I lost to the demonic attack, by the way. I went out. Ooh. I got a nicotine issue. I don't know what it's. I just got back in from Walking Keeper, and I have to say my ears froze. I was like, oh, it is really cold. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Awake, you drunkards, and weep, and wail, all you drinkers of wine, because of the sweet wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. A nation has come up against my land, powerful and beyond number. Its teeth are lion's teeth, and it has the fangs of a lioness. You know, Russian sun, it was really nice because it had warmed up for a couple of days. And that put me in a good mood. But now it's back to freezing. There's frost on even on my mailbox. God built me for the summer, not for the winter. I'm a fall baby, okay? I was born in September, right before it turns fall. So technically, I'm a summer baby. But the good news is we're facing spring and summer. I hate when we're sitting in September and October and we're facing the fall and the winter because it's so cold. But I like the fall. All right, I better get back to reading. It has laid waste my vine and splintered my fig tree. It has stripped off their bark and thrown it down. Their branches are made white. Lament like a virgin wearing sackcloth for the bridegroom of her youth. The grain offering and the drink offering are cut off from the house of the Lord. The priests mourn the ministers of the Lord. The priests mourn the ministers of the Lord. The fields are destroyed. The ground mourns because the grain is destroyed. The wine dries up. The oil languishes. Be ashamed, O tillers of the soil. Wail, O vine dresses, for the wheat and the barley, because the harvest of the field has perished. The vine dries up, the fig tree languishes. Pomegranate, palm, and apple, all the trees of the field are dried up, and gladness dries up from the children of man. This is rough reading. Yeah, it is windy. The front door is broken, so yesterday I went out and I rigged it. I holly rigged it. The screen door I'm surprised this thing hasn't broken. I'm surprised the windows haven't broken. Not to stay, right? I'm glad for that. I'd never want to live, as much as I complain and gripe about the cold weather, I'd never want to live in a place where it's always consistently one season. Although I'd probably do a lot better if I lived in a place that was warm and just one season, or milder winters. I spent a winter in South Carolina, and it was mild compared to up here. So anyway, fixed the door. The wind kept pushing it open because it doesn't click. And I don't know how this screen door still has the windows in place and they're not shattered, because that one night, oh my God, that door banged every 2 seconds. So anyway, I rigged it. I tied some twine around the handle, and then I pulled it through the door. I closed the main door. But with the twine, I left it like 1.5 feet long. At the very end, I put like a really huge knot on it. So if you're standing on the outside of the door, you can still open the screen door. You just got to pull the twine and it slides out, but it'll stop. So if the wind like catches a screen door and it opens, the twine will stop it and I won't hear any banging. But you can still get in through the front door. You have to unlock it, and then you have 1.5 feet of space with it. So, but I fixed it. Yeah, I don't like that wind, especially when it hits you in the face. And for me, I gasp for air. I don't know how people skydive. I wouldn't be able to breathe the whole time. And the siding flew off the house too. One piece flew off, and then there's a second piece not doing too well. I'm waiting for it to slam into my window and break my window. That'll be fun when that happens. We can blame it on Arachne. Good morning, Sarah. How are you, honey? All right, we're reading Joel. As you can tell. Yeah, okay, Holly, you're way off in left field on a tangent. All right, picking up Joel 1, verse 13. English Standard Version. Put on sackcloth and lament. Did you guys see that? I bind and cast that down, Heavenly Abba. Please pour the blood of the Lamb on my house, my possessions, my car, and please fill and overflow my house and possessions with your Holy Spirit. And please put us under your control. And Abba, I'm a little bit concerned that I'm not being, well, I am under demonic attack, but it's not as fierce as I am expecting the attack to be. So I must be doing something wrong, Abba. I repent. Please, yeah, I know what I'm doing wrong. All right, so back to reading. Here we go. A call to repentance. Put on sackcloth and lament, O priests. Wail, O ministers of the altar. Go in, pass the night in sackcloth, O ministers of my God. Because grain offering and drink offering are withheld from the house of your God. Consecrate a fast. Call a solemn assembly. Gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land to the house of the Lord your God, and cry out to the Lord. Alas for the day of the Lord is near, and as destruction from the Almighty it comes. It is not the food cut off before our eyes, joy and gladness. Is not the food cut off before our eyes, joy and gladness from the house of our God? The seed shrivels under the clods, the storehouses are desolate, the granaries are torn down because the grain has dried up. How the beasts groan. The herds of cattle are perplexed because there is no pasture for them. Even the flocks of sheep suffer. To you, O Lord, I call. Fire has devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and flame has burned all the trees of the field. Even the beasts of the field pant for you because the water brooks are dried up, and fire has devoured the pastures of the wilderness. That right there reminds me. Remember the fires in Australia with the poor koala bears? All the animals, for that matter. And all thanks to the elites. It's their fault they did it. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming. It is near. Huh. Right? We're a lot more near to that day than back then when this was written. When was it? Oh yeah, he should be here any minute. Literally. 9th to 16th century. No, wait. While the date of the book is uncertain, 9th to 16th century BC. Wow. All right, guys. Hey, Seller, how are you? Hey, my lover. I haven't seen you in a while, Seller. How you doing? Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming. It is near. A day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Like blackness there is spread upon the mountains a great and powerful people. Their like has never been there, like has never been before, nor will be again after them through the years of all generations. All right, lots happening. It's okay. Don't apologize, Don't apologize, sweetheart. There's so many people I haven't gotten back to. It's okay. I'm a mess. I have not been getting back to people. I have not been keeping my appointments. And I'm just not going through a good time right now. At all. At least I got my laundry done yesterday. Oh, and that sucked. People must have thought I was crazy. Thank heavens the laundromat wasn't really full. I washed the pet blankets and towels, and it was the last time I smelled Sava. I have stains in my sheet from when I gave her medicine. I wish that kind of like trapped her smell so. Fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burns. The land is like the Garden of Eden before them, but behind them a desolate wilderness, and nothing escapes them. To the moon base and back. I needed a coffee cup, Seller. So I went to the dollar store. And I got that because it reminds me of you. And I too love you to the moon base and back. Hey, it's Greta. Good morning. You like how I grandpa it? I'm styling. All right, so let's try to get through Joel. I heard, I was watching Faye, F-A-I Studios on YouTube, and he said that something about things in Joel are also in Revelation, so I was like, ooh, Joel's kind of short. Let's read it especially if it's about I saw that. I'm like, I gotta get it. I wanted to mail it to you, but I just ended up keeping it. I have stuff that I want to mail to people. I just gotta do it. And my tasks are incomplete, basically, to be honest. And I don't like that about myself. I have to fix it. Their appearance is like the appearance of horses, and like the war horses they run. This is interesting. I'm going to back up. Joel chapter 2, verse 3, English Standard Version. Knoweth, I am not reading it from the King Jameseth Bibleeth. Knoweth. Thou shalt not readeth that versioneth. All right. Fire devour. It can be rough reading for me. And it gets me laughing. I don't want to do Shakespeare this morning, okay, guys? I'm taking the easy escape route. I'm reading the English Standard Version. I love NIV, but I didn't do the NIV because I know it's so hated. But I love it. Anyway. Fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burns. The land is like the Garden of Eden before them, but behind them a desolate wilderness, and nothing escapes them. Their appearance is like the appearance of horses, and like war horses they run. As with the rumbling of chariots, they leap on the tops of the mountains, like the crackling of a flame of fire devouring the stubble. Like a powerful army drawn up for battle. Before them peoples are in anguish, all faces grow pale. Like warriors they charge, like soldiers they scale the wall. They march on his way. They do not swerve from their paths. They do not jostle one another. Each marches in his path. They burst through the weapons and are not halted. They leap upon the city. They run upon the walls. They climb up into the houses. They enter through the windows like a thief. The earth quakes before them, the heavens tremble. The sun and the moon are darkened. The stars withdraw their shining. The Lord utters his voice before his army, for his camp is exceedingly great. He who executes his word is powerful, for the day of the Lord is great and very awesome. Who can endure it? Yet even now declares the Lord, return with me with all your heart, with fasting, with weeping, with mourning, and rend your hearts and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love, and he relents over disaster. Who knows whether he will not turn and relent and leave a blessing behind him, a grain offering and a drink offering for the Lord your God. Hey, Huntress. Yeah, so far I have no idea what any of it means, except for the obvious. Blow the trumpet in Zion, consecrate a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, consecrate the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, even nursing infants. Let the bridegroom leave his room and the bride her chamber. Between the vestibule and the altar, let the priests and the ministers of the Lord weep and say, spare your people, O Lord, and make not your heritage a reproach, a byword among the nations. Why should they say among the peoples, where's your God? Then the Lord became jealous for his land and had pity on his people. The Lord answered and said to his people, Behold, I am sending to you grain, wine, and oil, and you will be satisfied, and I will no more make you a reproach among the nations. I will remove the northerner far from you, and drive him into a parched and desolate land. His vanguard into the eastern sea, and his rear guard into the western sea. The stench and foul smell of him will rise, for he has done great things. Fear not, O land. Be glad and rejoice, for the Lord has done great things. Fear not, you beasts of the field, for the pastures of the wilderness are green. The tree bears its fruit, the fig tree and vine give their full yield. Be glad, O children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God, for he has given the early rain for your vindication. He has poured down for you abundant rain, the early and the latter rain as before. The threshing floors shall be full of grain, the vats shall overflow with wine and oil. I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter, my great army which I sent among you. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of Lord your God, who has dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never again be put to shame. You shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord your God, and there is none else. All my people shall never again be put to shame. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Even on the male and female servants, in those days I will pour out my spirit. And I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and columns of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon to blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. And it shall come to pass that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be those who escape, as the Lord has said, and among the survivors shall be those whom the Lord calls. For behold, and it shall come to pass that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be those who escape, as the Lord has said, and among the survivors shall be those whom the Lord calls. Interesting, because we have the 144,000 and we have tribulation survivors. And here's Joel talking about, and among the survivors shall be those whom the Lord calls. For behold, in those days and at that time, when I restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will enter into judgment with them there on behalf of my people and my heritage Israel, because they have scattered them among the nations and have divided up my land, and have cast lots for my people, and have traded a boy for a prostitute, and have sold a girl for wine, and have drunk it. What are you to me, O Tyre, and Sidon, and all the regions of Philistia? Are you paying me back for something? If you are paying me back, I will return your payment on your head swiftly and speedily. For you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried my rich treasures into your temples. You have sold the people of Judah and Jerusalem to the Greeks in order to remove them far from their own border. Behold, I will stir them up from the place to which you have sold them, and I will return your payment on your head. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the people of Judah, and they will sell them into the Sabaeans, to a nation far away, for the Lord has spoken. Proclaim this among the nations. Consecrate for war. Stir up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am a warrior. Hasten and come, all you surrounding nations, and gather yourselves there. Bring down your warriors, O Lord. Let the nations stir themselves up and come to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I will sit to judge all the surrounding nations. Now I'm on Joel 3, verse 13. 3:13. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Go in, tread, for the winepress is full. The vats overflow, for their evil is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon are darkened, and the stars withdraw their shining. The Lord roars from Zion and utters his voice from Jerusalem, and the heavens and the earth quake. But the Lord is a refuge to his people, a stronghold to the people of Israel. So you shall know that I am the Lord your God, who dwells in Zion, my holy mountain. And Jerusalem shall be holy, and strangers shall never again pass through it. In that day the mountains shall drip sweet wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the stream beds of Judah shall flow with water. And a fountain shall come forth from the house of the Lord, and water the valley of Siddim. Egypt shall become a desolation, and Edom a desolate wilderness, for the violence done to the people of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall be inhabited forever, and Jerusalem to all nations. I will avenge their blood. Blood I have not avenged, for the Lord dwells in Zion. Huh? Why would that be? No, that's H. Where's 1? Why would you put 1? I'm trying to look up like the middle column, the middle column, but they have a 1 next to avenge. I have not avenged, but they don't show me anything in the middle column where I can find the 1. Good morning, Bruce. How are you? Is this when a country goes in debt and puts up birth certificates? Good point, Bruce. Yeah, yeah. Yep. So the Biden administration has probably already put up our birth certificates, which reminds me, I'm going to take back ownership of me. I got to go get my birth certificate get it verified or something, and then I'm going to write to the government and take back ownership of the entity Holly Baglio. And then I'm going to call this the Baglio household. Baglio residence, no, Baglio household. I so miss Seva so much, and just because she's gone doesn't mean that she's any less a part of this family. Well, what I have found is that soul will be in his hand like a rock. Say, loppers. Yeah, we're going to go through a real bad time. Like, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but I don't understand how people can actually look at the world right now and go, oh yeah, those trumpets are sounding and those bowls of wrath are pouring out. No, they're not. When they sound off and when those bowls pour, there's not going to be a doubt in anybody's mind what's going on at that time. And the whole world is going to go through it at the same time. And I really feel that we are butted up right next to the great day of the Lord coming. So, even the seals, when the seventh seal, I think it's the seventh seal, when the seventh seal's open, or maybe it's the fifth seal, when they all run to the mountains and say, hide us, for the great and terrible day of the Lord has come. Well, it's not at that precise moment that Jesus returns. It's that the evil ones are saying to themselves, we better run and hide right now because we see the signs in the heavens. He's returning, and we better skedaddle and slither out of here really fast because, yeah, let's get out of here before he returns. So they're going to run. Hey, Steve Mo. Today, yeah, I got it right this morning. Thank you. The hostess with the mostest, making Yeshua the focus. I'm trying to. I don't think I have conviction. I think I've been doing really crappy. And I have to do better. I have to go back into fasting bad behaviors. I slacked off yesterday and today, not sacrificing my bad behaviors. But I want to sacrifice them anyway because eventually I just want to be completely done with them. And why not just get rid of a bad thing, really grow closer to Abba, try to, I don't know, I feel so stifled. I can't write my blessing prayer, I can't write my baptism prayer. Like, well, and they tried to put me in a nut house for things I say. Ah, Bruce, I believe it. I signed myself into a nut house December 20th through the 26th of 2014. My ex convinced me to sign myself in March of 2019, but it only went to make things worse for him. If we had gone to trial, man, they would have slammed him. They would have slammed him when the jury... he probably would have been sitting there for 5 years. Anyway, I believe it, but in December of 2014, I could not tell them about MK Ultra or Super Soldier stuff, Bruce. I just told them, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I have dreams. They come true. Nobody listens to me. There's not a damn thing I can do to stop it. And you know what? It's just gotten to be too much for me. I guess I'm having a nervous breakdown or a midlife crisis, whatever. Because whatever I think that is, I think that's what I'm feeling now. Because my knees are knocking, my shins are shaking. I can't even talk. I lost my speaking abilities. So it was pretty easy not to tell them about the super soldier stuff. They would have locked me away, man. quit demanding perfection from myself. Only Abba and Yeshua are perfect. You're cleaning and listening to. I gotta clean. I need to mop my kitchen and bathroom floors, vacuum, do my dishes. Apparently, my altar cooked last night. Psych wards are the worst. Oh, I know. You go into those psych wards and you know what you meet? Mainly, well, three kinds of people, really. You get the ones that are like me, seeking Yeshua, and they've got spiritual gifts, but when they share those spiritual gifts, nobody listens to them. So the people end up getting hurt anyway. The second type of person you get is someone who is demonically possessed. Point blank, demonically possessed. And, you know, the hospitals call it schizophrenia. The hospital calls it a whole bunch of different names, but really it boils down to demonic possession, and then they throw the patient on a bunch of pills, call the patient a problem, and then push them aside, and really it's a demonic possession. And the second that person goes through a demonic possession, at least 50% of their ailments are going to, boom, go right away. If not all of them, if not 100% of them. You know, it depends on the person and the situation. The third kind of person you see in a psych ward is someone who's after pills. Typically pain pills. I told the docs I came off of all my pain pills. And I smoke marijuana. They told me, oh, you have an addiction. No, I don't. Marijuana, I got a prescription and a license for marijuana. No, it's a medicine for me. I never liked getting high. When I saw the medicinal benefits I got from that plant, that was a no-brainer. For me, and you know what? The thing was, is I was truly blessed because I have a lot of friends who can't come off their prescription pills. They want to. They want to go to medicinal marijuana. They want to go to kratom. They want to ultimately not even need pills to begin with. But their health requires them to take prescriptions. A lot of my friends can't come off their prescription medications. And sometimes they feel like they're not close to God because they're on the prescription medications. That's where I try to reassure them, listen, just because you have to rely on a prescription and a doctor, it does not mean you're any less closer to Abba than I am. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It just means you've got bad health. You got to take care of yourself. You got to handle it. But your bad health and your prescription and your doctors and your diagnoses, don't ever let any of that be a wedge between you and Heavenly Abba. And don't let anybody put that wedge between you and Heavenly Abba because you're disabled or because you need prescriptions. A lot of my friends can't come off their prescriptions and just take medicinal cannabis. It's just the way it is. I got lucky. But I'll be honest, no matter what, with the way I am, no matter what, I was coming off those pills whether I had to have them or not. Came off my blood pressure pills. Maybe that wasn't such a hot idea, but I heard that medicinal marijuana would take care of blood pressure, and I was borderline diabetic because I had been on pain pills for 2 decades. I had to come off them. I heard marijuana would get rid of being diabetic. I still suffer all of these problems. I just don't take pills for them. That's the difference. I just don't take pills anymore, and I don't go to doctors. I can't stand it. As a little kid, I was constantly, my grandmother said it best. She goes, Holly's grown up in a doctor's office. They almost tried to keep me. I actually did stay back. It was weird how it happened because I went from kindergarten to first grade, got held back, went to pre-first, and then on to second. It should have been kindergarten, pre-first, first, and then second, but I got held back because I missed so much school. I was always sick as a kid. Always, always sick. So you know how nice it is not to live out of a pill bottle or a doctor's office? It's a very liberating feeling. It really is. And doctors are just glorified drug dealers. And when I walk in a doctor's office, I expect to walk out with a prescription. And I tell the doctors point blank, I'm paying you money, get out your prescription pad. That's why I came to you, is because that prescription pad, let's not lie about it. Now, you go grab your pen, start writing. Or I ain't paying the bill, and you can do all you want against me to get it, but I won't give you 1 red cent. Know thy place. You, doctor, work for me. See, that's another thing that patients get wrong. Now, these doctors, they have God complexes, right? They got these big, huge egos, as well as big, huge houses and yachts, thanks to you and me paying for it all. They come off as the dominant, domineering, authoritative person. They forget that they're disposable, number one. And number two, the biggest thing is that patients forget that the doctors are to work for them, not the other way around. Not the other way around. So, if you don't like your doctor, get rid of them. They're a dime a dozen, just like attorneys. Sorry to my friends who are doctors and attorneys, by the way. But you guys are the loophole, okay? If you're my friend, you're the exception. You're the loophole. Nothing I say applies to you. Even if you think it applies to you, no, it doesn't, because you're my friend. And that means you get out of a jail. You get an escape card, a get out of jail free card. Now, your salvation can't get you out of jail free. No, I'm teasing. No. And we wouldn't want our salvation to be used as an escape clause. We want to be heartfelt and love Yud Hey Vav Hey and truly mean our salvation, and not to be legalistic about it. Yes, we have laws to follow. We have commandments, we have precepts as outlined in Proverbs and Psalms. We do have 613 applicable Torah law. Well, there's some of the laws that are applicable. And why do we have them? Because we're supposed to walk like Yeshua. And they're reminders, you know. Some people need those reminders. Me and my friends tend to already have that voice in us that lets us know when we're doing something wrong. Like, I always thought that everybody just had common sense and that gut instinct and just knew right from wrong. And when they did wrong, I thought that they would get that feeling like I get when I'm doing something wrong, and that wrong feeling would turn them off to doing wrong stuff, and that they just wouldn't do it because they don't want that bad feeling. But no, people love that bad feeling they get. People are so... I can see mind control on a grand mass scale. I can see people totally having the wrong reactions to emotional reactions to situations, just like I do having alters. Except they seem to embrace when they do something bad and they do something wrong, and that feeling, that negative feeling, they tend to embrace that and lift that up. But to do something positive, or to pick up some trash that you see on the sidewalk to throw it away, they're not into seeking out or doing things to cause that positive behavior. It's like that positivity is like wrong. You know, am I saying it? Probably not. Try spot freedom of spec. Anyone would would have a nervous breakdown having MK Ultra come back that fast. Shh. Well, Huntress, it slowly started to seep in. So, like, 2014, January, boom, I started off with a bang. I wish I started off with a bang this past January and quit my smoking, but oh no, I'm stuck with 7 of that demon's worst buddies. I really did it to myself this time, Huntress. I got my work cut out for me. And I'm beating myself up about it because now I really realize what's happening. And now I realize why the quitting smoking has been so difficult. So when I did quit back in September, that was huge for Abba. Well, it's huge for me too because I quit. I quit smoking cigarettes for a month. I quit cigarettes for a month and a half, and I quit the vaping for like 3-4 weeks, something like that. Who told you you were naked? Psych wards are full of sadistic drugging, the hurting. Yep. I told him I had celiac disease, and he turned around and told me it did not exist last time. It didn't exist. When all went wrong, they came down on me, insisted with the daughters of men. Yep. It's another form of guilt. Okay, Huntress, thank you. Yeah, there's not good doctors. I went to one of these medi-merge places. I'm like, I need a prescription of Xanax. We don't have any here. I'm like, you got a prescription pad here. Start writing. Yeah, we don't have any here. I'm like, I came here for that. You're a medi-merge. What use are you if you're not going to prescribe a prescription? Actually, I wanted Xanax and an antibiotic. I wanted both of them for TMJ. Couldn't get anything. Well, then you have TMJ. Yeah, okay, now you're supposed to give me remedies for the TMJ. Dink, dink, dink. So, yeah, they're completely useless. You got to call up a doctor and be like, hey, do you freely use your prescription pad, or are you one of these dingbats that says, well, I don't like narcotics and I don't go that route, so I don't care that you're suffering. I'm not going to give you any, but here, still put $50 in my pocket for my 15 minutes. And nowadays, good luck getting a doctor. No one has authority. No one's skilled or trained. And they all have to wait on somebody else to do something. So even the doctor themselves has to wait on somebody else to have permission to even treat a patient. It's retarded nowadays. Did not mock or ignore. I believe you, Sarah. I remember going to a counselor, right? This was back in 2017, I think. I'm like, why not? I'll give it a shot, see if they got smart yet. Oh my God. I went to, she was just a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. She had no idea what SRA is, DID, or MK Ultra. I had to school her all on it. She had no idea about Joseph Mengele. No idea. I was like, who's getting counseled here? She was. She was getting an education of a lifetime from a super soldier. Oh, yeah, that DSM, what is that? The fake memories? I don't believe in that fake memory. There are no fake memories. They can be changed, modified, tampered with, but I don't believe in any of that fake memory stuff. When people try to say, oh, it's a fake memory, it's a fake memory. No. I mean, I've heard of screen memories where something happened to you, but they'll put a memory in place of it and it's called a screen memory. So you'll think you just had a normal work week, normal boring work week at AT&T, but really you were at an elite's house, and they were putting you through satanic rituals and sacrifices. But they'll put in a screen memory to make you think you were at work for that week, when really you were being manipulated. Yeah. I gotta clean my house. I'm not motivated. I also gotta eat. I think I might go to Dunkin' Donuts. I've been having Grand Rising. Oh, prayers for you and your loved ones too, Grand Rising. Thank you so much. Hey, Deb. It's great to see you, Deb. I've been thinking about you often. Honestly, I have been. So that were very obvious. You know, I think I have some screen memories. And it was to make me think I had a boring work week, but really I was off somewhere else, doing something else. I wasn't at work at all. How did I get away with that, Abba? I'm the one that did payroll. I would have seen my absences. False memory syndrome was a deliberate created psyop. Thank you, Huntress. Yeah, that's fake. And anybody saying, oh, false memories is real, I get suspect to them right off the bat. There's something to it. And why would someone try to hide that? No. And I come into contact with a bunch of smart, brainy, famous people that do that. Say, oh, false memory syndrome is real. No, it's not. No, it's not. They're not false memories. They're memories, and they're there for a reason. It's because something happened to you. I mean, how about this? I get what they mean about these false memories and stuff, but for instance, like when Black Ops came to my house, they came in, they used scopolamine, got me from my house, threw me in the trunk of the car, drove off. So whatever drugs they had me on, I was fuzzy. When they opened the trunk of the car, they tried to play like it was an alien abduction. And an alien was the one that gave me the implant. Now, there could have been aliens there. I don't know. But it was definitely a human being that got me from my house, threw me in the trunk of the car, drove off. I got an implant. It hurt like a mother. I got driven back home, still in the trunk of the car, and then brought back in my house. And I hurt for a good week. It felt like I was mauled around the neck and head by a WWF wrestler. Man, it hurt. Could that be why a person can forget what month something happened? That could be. I can't remember that anyway. Right before you wake up from remembering, they will show something so bizarre that it will wipe out what just occurred. But in a strong mind, it does not work. That's interesting, Deb. They will show something so bizarre that it will wipe out what just happened. That happens to me. When my lung was collapsed, because my lung was collapsed, I couldn't remember anything prior. My whole memory just shut down. And it came back. Wow, that's awesome, Deb. Thank you for pointing that out. Those are the memories I'm talking about, really. But that makes sense, Deb. What? That would work on me. My mind's not strong. Months or years of different events, like when jobs were. I have gaps of memories missing. Like, couldn't really tell you, like, when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I only have a couple memories. You know, like a couple occurrences, but that said, I don't remember the majority of the year. The majority of your childhood is a blank. Oh boy. The demonic alien occurrences. Yep. Yeah, so people trying to fake an alien abduction, whether aliens were there or not, they could have been, because I thought that an alien really did give it to me, but who knows at that point. But see, they'll do that too. They'll give you strange drugs, and then they'll try to change the situation and make you think it's an alien abduction when it's really black ops officers. These algorithms suck. If you look up Aaron McCollum, McCollum, Aaron, Aaron, go to DuckDuckGo. Thanks, Greta. Also, you remember, and so that's why they use the trauma so your mind will forget. Your mind is strong, or you wouldn't be here now. Thank you, Huntress. True. But that is because when you are extremely traumatized, time loses its meaning. Yes, it does. I see no difference from last week to this week. I know for other people, a week has passed, but not for me. I had missing time last night. I don't remember cooking. No, I was not drinking. Well, I did actually have a pint of beer, but I wasn't drinking. You know, like, I wasn't drinking. Not like that. Not like I felt like doing. But apparently I cooked. I woke up in the middle of the night. I almost left my rice and chicken out all night. I threw it in the fridge real quick so I wouldn't get it ruined. Let me stay on topic. I saw a fallen angel, what they call an alien, put a needle coming out of its finger in every part of my body. Oh, jeez. I don't like the way they touch. I don't like the skin on them. Oh, and they smell putrid. I mean, even their alien aircrafts, inside of it smells like piss. Not to be funny or vulgar, but it smells like stale, old urine. I didn't like the way they touched, like the way they felt. Icky. Icky. This is a good conversation. Oh, I saw something on Stargates. I think I mentioned it to you guys. I want to rewatch the video. Actually, you know what I want to do? I was talking to my alters while I was watching this video. I had posted it up. I know I make a mess out of my pages. I'm not going to feel ashamed and embarrassed. I'm just going to be happy that Even though I had missing time, there are no lash outs. So my page might be a mess, but you know what? That's my page. As long as I didn't make a mess for anybody else, that's all that matters. Hey, UK Awake World, I love you, sweetheart. How are you? Kicked out of a ship once? Good for you, Deb. Those alien screen memories are awful. You got some of them too? This is a good topic. This is a really good topic. Thank you, guys. I'm so glad we got to talk about this. I don't know that much about the topic, but I'm glad we're talking about it. The Stargates. Oh, that was another thing. So I put up the link to the Stargates. There was some guy. There's just some guy. No, not my friend, but there was some guy on YouTube. He brought in Jordan Maxwell. Now, I don't have the same beliefs as Jordan Maxwell, but Jordan Maxwell was the first person I bumped into on the internet. And I have to ask myself, have I ever met him as an active super soldier? Because he seems so familiar. And I found him first. Oh, what was I saying before? In 2014, Huntress, I quit my pills in January. I quit the prescriptions, fired my doctors January 4th of 2014. So there I am smoking weed, eating weed, white knuckling it for like 6 months. I start looking up angels and demons on the internet back in the good old days when YouTube was good. I read that book, Betty Eadie. So I started to look up angels and demons on the internet and stories about heaven, stories about hell. And I kept coming past this super soldier, super soldier, super soldier. Now, I signed up to be in the Army when I was in college, but they rejected me. I always wanted to do that, honestly. But they rejected me because of my asthma. Now, lo and behold, I wasn't awake. Well, finally I stop. Click the button to play the video. There's James Casbolt, Michael Prince talking. Within 5-10 minutes, I'm like, I think I saw his Project Ibis. Was that the one where he shows the picture when he's a kid? Yeah, he shows a picture of when he's a kid. I'm like, Nelson, Canada. I remember crawling in his cot when they had to hang your doors open. Man, when he was talking, I'm like, there's no way that he would know that unless he was there. And why is this man on YouTube, on the other side of the world, over in the UK, talking about my memories? Those are my memories. And then it just started clicking. Then I found Aaron Rothschild. Then I found Aaron McCullum. So meanwhile, I'm using marijuana to detox from the 33 prescriptions. I was only actively using 12 at the time. I did a Donald Trump, fired all my doctors. I slowly started to get into it. So it took a few months, Safi, but I was smoking the weed, so I wasn't being jolted. And I was eating a gram 4 times a day, and then I don't know how many other grams I was smoking throughout the day, but I was eating at least 4 to 6 grams per day and then smoking it for breakthrough pain. So because that was happening, I had that as a cushion, and I was by myself. I had my own place, but then I lost my home. And that's when it came crashing down, Huntress. I couldn't handle it anymore. If I had just had my own home, everything would have been fine. I don't need to go to a rehab. I don't need to go to a mental hospital. If I need something, I just grab my Bible, Abba will pray, and I'll do it on my own. I've always done things on my own. I'm stubborn. I will fail a course in college first before I ask you for help. Oh, yes. And I've already proved myself time and time again. I'm not proving myself no more. I'm like that. I just don't ask for help. And when I do ask for help, I kid you not, I go through so much agony, literally, because I'm like, I got to build myself up to even get the courage to ask you. And then I'll go ask you and I'll be like, Huntress, can I? And I'll go fail the course. So I didn't mean to step away from my chat room. Bruce says it's not little green space being in a flying ship. Right, Bruce? Where you wanted to run, but your body felt like it weighed a ton and time slowed down. I hate those things, Deb. It's an entity that can position your body is one to look out for. Thank you, Bruce. When I dreamt of being kidnapped as a child, I was able to get away, but got caught every time. Bruce, one of my happiest experiences ever was on a ship where they were unseen, but everything I thought happened, good things, not experiments. You know, Deb, I have a couple good memories too like that with the entities. Sirius B, I like them. I remember when I left, I made them a gift, and they looked at me like, what is this? What am I supposed to do with it? I'm like, well, you're nice to me. I like you. Here. And goodbye. Don't forget me. Because I'm bound to forget you. Mars, the entity on Mars was nice to me. Well, I say he was nice to me because he let me come back home to Grandma and Papa. Oh, the Stargates. Oh, Huntress, let me finish that one thought. What happened in December was the dreams got to be too much. They were coming true every time I was turned around. It was a demonic attack by the fake Jesus, but at the time I didn't know that. So I'm getting him and the fake Jesus confused. And oh my gosh, that was I woke up one morning with end time dreams and visions, basically tribulation nightmares. And I crumbled. I couldn't take it anymore. And not having my house, of course, I was going to fall to pieces because I wasn't in a stable, secure situation. I'm grateful that I was able to keep my dog, Cat, and I together for 9 months, but that just pains in the ass, people. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I remember the day my attorney came to pick me up from that place. I had Save on a leash. I had her on a leash for 24 hours. I was like, pretty kitty, my pretty kitty, you ain't going nowhere, honey, but with me. And I remember when we got out of there, man, I was so happy. What about floating through the ceiling? That's a good question. That was the time the force field literally kicked me out because I never wanted to leave. Sarah, I dreamt of witches and covens and violations. But I blacked out a lot too and lost time. Wow, Deb. I'm happy to see it, Deb. I fall and use bodies here to play their way, control, then you forget what just happened, right? All right, this is good. I might have a fighting chance today. Oh, I hope it stays like that, Heavenly Abba. I'm battling my demons. I woke up craving alcohol. And I am not chasing after wine. There's Bible verses all about drunkards and all that stuff, and I'm not trying to be one. So I'm fighting. And I'm not going to make an excuse for it. Thank you for helping me fight through it. Like, there's a 24-hour liquor store right down the street from me. Ah, I love you, Deb. Oh, man, that little kitty. I can't take the pain. I'll be honest, I can't. I crumble. I miss her so much. It's like losing grandma again. And yesterday I did my laundry. It's yellow, not brown. My bedspread, it was so dirty. It was dirty. And I smelled Seva for the last time yesterday. I washed, all the towels, the sheets. But there's little stains. See these little stains? That's Seva from her medicine when I missed it. So, I got memories of her. It's not the same without her. That's the family I made. Is Seva and Keeper. Even says so on my ring. I got 2 blue diamonds on either side of my heart. One's for Seva, one's for Keeper. The heart's me, and the 3 diamonds inside, well, that's Yud Hey Vav Hey, Yeshua, and Holy Spirit. And the ring itself is my covenant with Abba. That he's going to be my God. He is my God. Even when I'm wrong and in the wrong and disobedient, he is still my God. I didn't run to drugs though, Deb. I could have had plenty of chances, but I only screwed up with alcohol and cigarettes. I can't wait. I'm thinking of it right now, and I hear her cry out. She's going to be so elated when she sees me. I can already fathom her reaction, and she's going to cry out in her meow. And she's going to be so happy. She's not going to be able to stop rubbing against me like when she used to do around my legs until I picked her up. Jeez, you know how happy I'm going to be to see her again? I sat outside with Keeper the other day, and it just wasn't the same without Seva. Keeper barks, and I'm like, Seva never barked. I know that's not fair for me to say to Keeper. But it's true, Seva never barked. I'm hungry, but I don't feel like eating. For 9 months when Sassy Husky Pet. Oh, I haven't been that graceful, Deb. I'm trying. I can't get my head in gear. I haven't been The past 2 weeks, I haven't been getting back to people. I haven't been keeping my appointments. And I don't see that that's going to change anytime soon. Like, I'm vertical. Yeah, I'm vertical. You know, I was thinking that too, Deb. I was thinking, oh, we'll go sit at your computer. You know why I'm here, Deb? Because that cat was always on my lap. I'd go to walk to my computer, right? And I kid you not, that cat would come flying up from behind me, zoom past me, and go run and jump on my chair and sit in my chair. And I'd be like, you little shit, move over. She'd take the whole chair and I'd get like a little piece of it. So I'd be here and she'd be sprawled out and I'd be trying to type. Then, you know, we'd fix ourselves in the chair and she'd finally just get on my lap. But then the little shit, man. She'd knock everything off my desk onto the floor, go play with it, jump back up on my lap, find something else, knock it on the floor. And she would just do that the whole time I was at my computer desk. Yeah, every time I think of the cravings now, that's what I think of, Huntress, is I'm hungry. So I'm starting to change it around a little bit to show Abba's strength when he carries us through. But yeah, that's why I'm vertical, is because Seva's not here to sit with me at my computer. You like that, right? My dog's got me trained right now. If I don't want to hear her bark, I will give her treaty. Here. Oh, you're just so cute. But you have to get back on your diet. Don't you bark. Just a little bit. That's a lot. Yeah, it's just not the same. It's not the same. I keep thanking Abba for giving me Seva. And I keep telling Abba, I'm like, I'm convinced, Abba. And if you tell me anything different, you're lying. Seva is actually an angel in a cat's body. Having her in my life was the best part of my life. Next to Grandma, Papa, and, well, Abba's a given, number one. But, man, I always said that cat is an angel in a cat's body. Every time I take a picture of her, her eyes just would like flash different colors. Yeah, she's a sweetheart, Keeper is. They're both sweethearts. That's because all I ever do is say, I love you, you're just so cute, I love you, you're just so cute, I love you, you're just so cute, I love you. Can I give you treaties? That's all Seva ever heard was, you're just so cute, I love you. Oh, you're just so cute, I love you. Oh, honey, I love you. No, no more treaties. You got bones. You got bones. You're just so cute. All right, fetch. Ooh, you're supposed to fetch it. Don't bark at me. Stop. Come on. Stop. Stop. Don't bark. No more. Go fetch. Fetch the ball. Go get it. There you go. Bring it back. She ain't gonna bring it back. Come on. You gotta bring the ball back. You just came back? No. No treaties. Go grab the ball. Stop barking. No treaties. Go fetch the ball. I'll play with you, but you gotta go fetch the ball. Go fetch the ball. I gotta teach you how to play fetch again? Get it. Yeah, she's not interested. This dog doesn't play fetch. She's like, you go fetch it. You want me to fetch it? I do. Treat in paw now. Oh, no more. Stop. I don't want to hear barking. Mm-mm. I'm not going to let you pressure me into it. No! Go lay down. If you don't want to play fetch, you're not allowed to stand there and bark at your master. No. I'm vertical, but I'm useless, Deb. 12.5 years wasn't enough time with her. I had her entire life. I wouldn't have ever thought of ever getting rid of her. Other people tried to get me to get rid of her. My mountaintop church tried to get me to get rid of her. Those plastic Christians in Maryland tried to get me to get rid of her because they were allergic. What do I care? Go take Benadryl. Ain't my problem. I'm not getting rid of a love of my life because you're allergic. You already took my medicine away from me. Can't have medicinal cannabis because they partied on it and ruined it and dealt it. Speaking of which, I gotta come up with, I'm gonna save money because I'm gonna go back to the doctor. I need help. I know it sounds stupid. My friend yesterday kind of like did a double take at me, so to speak, but I'm like, dude, really? Like, I need to talk to somebody. So I'm gonna go back to the doctor. I'm gonna ask them to increase me up to, I'm just gonna go for broke and ask them for 3 ounces. I need double what I need double what I got at the dispensary. They're expensive, but if you go at certain times, you can get 15% off. I was like, you got any discounts for ordained ministers? I'm like, as far as governmental assistance programs, I just got kicked off my food stamps. How much of an inspiration? Oh, I'm really humbled, Sarah. And I'm humbled. Thank you, Deb. You know what? Thank you, ladies, very much. And Deb, that's reassuring to me that you said that. Because it's been in my mind. Because I've screwed up so much with nicotine. I've smoked in my house, which kicks Abba out. Now, this is personal with him and I. I'm not saying that he's telling you guys to do what he told me. He'll tell you guys what to do in private, I'm sure. But that's been on my mind, Deb. All praise, love, glory, and worship to you, Vav. I want you to work on the inside of me, Abba. I ask you to. I want you to. I need you to. In Yeshua's name, Selah. Anyway, I'm really humbled. I changed from smoking cigarettes and took up fresh air. Oh my goodness. Hey, ladies. I wanted to tell you, if you want to join me in self-defense, it's 1 night a week. If you want to join me to take that 1 night a week self-defense course online, I'm allowed to bring whoever I want. So if you want to do it, it's only once a week. But I should have worked out yesterday. My back, and my knees and my hands. Well, my hands hurt from folding all the laundry. I kid you not, they were swollen this morning just from folding my laundry. That's how bad the arthritis is. But I got to get moving because the one thing that is the best for rheumatoid arthritis is exercise. So, and look, I mean, I got weights. I just got to get motivated. Like, see, I got weights. I just got to get motivated. was your self-defense. I need exercise in my life, and I've always enjoyed martial arts. So, all right, if you want to join, it's Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Yeah, he runs for free, but I want to make a donation to him. And actually, all those months that I missed going, you know what? I don't have to feel bad about missing him because he wasn't able to do the classes anyway. So as much as he's run them, I've actually been there. It just happened to work out that way that things have been a nightmare for him. They've been a nightmare for me, but yeah, so Thursday nights, it's a lot of fun, and the people there are sweethearts. So the last time we only worked out 30 minutes. Sometimes we've gone like 45 to 60 minutes. So it depends. And it's older ladies, the majority. It's all older ladies. It's online, yes. So you need a camera because he needs to see you. Like, I'm sorry to point, he corrects your posture. Like, if you don't have the right posture, he needs to see you. And now our God should say the Holy Spirit, I'm a tech tart. Are you kidding me? Yeah, Huntress, come with me. He's done karate for I forget how long. I think he's a black belt. I forget what degree in karate. So like we'll do like some push-ups, we'll do stretching, but mainly, and this is the key to martial arts, right? Because in martial arts you have forms, and your forms are like, they're like your punches, blocks, and kicks together. It's like, right? All right, so anyway, what Bobby does is, like, he'll have you jump in, and then he'll be like, all right, 1, 2, and then you got to throw the punch. Then he'll be like, 2, 4, 5. So then you got to throw 2, 4, 5, like that. So you're doing the punching and then the kicking too. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of aerobic. I like it because that's what I did in martial arts. And you want to get in the groove of, it's self-defense. It's not like a particular martial art. He's not doing that. The stretching is not yoga, but yes, there is stretching, but there's no positions of signs. And honestly, the only God that's being worshipped there is Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. So that's it. You are. Well, you know what? I could ask him. I told him that I could do the recording if he wants because I have a software. I don't know how to edit anything, but I could ask him if he would let me send you the recording so that way you could still see the workout and do the workout if you wanted, I know you're hiding from your ex. I used to be hiding from my ex. Now he can kiss off. I drive through Newark. When I go visit my friends, I'm always driving through Newark. I'm not scared to. And I better have no issues with him either. Otherwise, I'll have to go call my friends, my boys on the block. And we don't need a war. I gotta change my cell phone number. Actually, I can't. I can't change it. Somebody has it that I want them to have it, and if I change it, they won't have it. And here's the kicker. I can't call the person to give it to them. They won't take it. They won't accept it. They won't take my call. So I got to keep my cell phone number. You know what they did? They drained my data plan. I just got it Wednesday, Friday, my data. Yesterday, my data was all gone. Is listening to the I believe you, Sarah. You don't want to give people your cell phone number anyway because they can track you and where you are. When I left Maryland, that was the first thing I did, was change my phone number. Because they can track you, they can do a whole bunch of stuff. Recently, they just drained, I'm not saying it was the plastic Christians, but I was scared that they had maybe grabbed my cell phone and put applications on it to follow me, to find out where I was. So I did change my cell phone number. But I don't ever want to see them. Ever, 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 ever. Planes and helicopters. I remember you saying that, Sarah. Both of you are survivors, Deb and Sarah. Well, Seller is, Huntress is. Actually, come to think of it, all of you are survivors. All of you are survivors. Bruce, it's been a long time since we've spoke. And I can't remember your background. But at least for the ladies, we're all survivors here. Similar, we went through similar things. We just kind of had a little bit different. We are the chosen. I'll tell you, Deb, I don't want to come across the wrong way, but I mean it humbly in Yeshua's name. When I woke up 7 years ago, that's all that I kept saying to my friends at the time, Yahweh's chosen. Yahweh's chosen. Are you Yahweh's chosen? I think Yahweh chose me. What do you mean he chose you? What did he choose you for? I don't know, but like when people say he plucked me out of the darkness, yeah, like I really think he point blank chose me. Like he was looking over the earth and said, yep, I'm taking Holly. She's mine. Oh, yep. There we go. Deb's mine too. All right, we're so chosen. Like he chose me. Like he had, like he was making a decision. He was working on something, and then he thought, I want Holly to do that. And I don't think it's arrogant. I think I need to be honest and stop hiding things that he tells me. But I kid you not, I agree with you. We are his chosen. Especially because we defected. You guys know what we defected from. The vast general population has got no idea. They're mesmerized by our suffering and our trauma, what we went through. They're like, wow. Okay, they're not going to get it. But you guys, you know what we stared evil dead in its eyes. It mauled us. And somehow we're still here to tell about it. Yudevave resurrected us to still tell about it. And there's, right. Oh my goodness. Sounds like you got to hide from everybody, Sarah, not just the ex. But yeah, Abba was always saying, chosen to me. You know that saying, everyone's called, everybody's called, but few are chosen? Is that how it goes? I thought it was Strong Brides of Yeshua. Yeah. Darn it. All are called, only a few answer, and even less are chosen, or how? I always wanted a calling. I always wanted a calling. And I said to Abba, I want a calling. And if you did call me and I didn't answer, please, please ring again. have mercy on me and ring again. Maybe he chose me to have a calling where normally I wouldn't have had a calling unless I sought him out. If I didn't seek him out, I would have never had a calling on my life. I had to pursue him for it. I think there are some people that they get a calling. I don't know how all that stuff works, but I got a calling now. I also heard Wish Upon a Star again. I don't like that song either. Ooh, Sarah. You met a new altar they took over for 2 weeks? Oh, Seller, Heavenly Abba, I pray that you comfort Seller's altars. I pray that she becomes co-conscious in Yeshua's name. Please keep her altars in sync with your will. Please comfort them. Please shower them with your love. In Yeshua's name, Selah. Wishing upon a star. This summer, I learned the hard way. I didn't ask Abba, hey, Abba, can I go pick a fight with the 72 regional demons? No, I done run off and started a fight myself with them. So there I was, binding and casting down the 72 regional demons for not being in Abba's will and putting the Holy Spirit in place of them. It's a good thing I didn't have a second person praying in agreement with me, because they would have been shook with that demonic attack just as bad as Abba had to discipline me. He's like, kid, I love your heart, but you got to ask me first. So anyway, then I get going on the stars and planets up in heaven. I'm like, you know what? And you guys. So now we deal with the ones of the earth. Now you guys, you're outside of Abba's will. Well, I bind and cast you down, and I put the Holy Spirit in place of you to do your job for you, because you're not doing it good enough. You're fallen. In Yeshua's name I pray. And Keeper and Saver are my witnesses. Abba said no. No. And he had to discipline me, because as funny or as cute as it sounds, it really wasn't. We are to ask him first if we can start a battle with these other spirits. We have to ask him first, Abba, is this a house where I can bring Yeshua to it? Because some people, buildings, and places have already been turned over and given rights to Moloch, and Moloch has authority to them. And if he's got authority and you come charging in, picking fights, Abba may not have approved you to pick that fight. You got to be careful. And although you might not feel it, those demons will slay you and slash you in the spirit. So your soul is like literally half dead, but you're walking around just fine, grabbing another cup of kratom, right? So to speak, not you specifically, but I mean it generally. But meanwhile, you feel all right, but meanwhile, your soul is tethered shreds. Just ask Abba first for everything. Please join me for my day and all my plans that I'm probably going to break, and everything I think and everything I do. Wherever I go to, please go before me, during me, and after me. Stay with me during the trip. So Abba, everything I do today, yes, I definitely want to consult you first and foremost, but I want to spend the whole entire day with me. And I don't want to lose focus for 1 second of you. In Yeshua's name I pray, Selah. Well, anyway, getting back to the stars. Abba had to discipline me. And he's like, Holly, you can't do that anymore. And it's pretty serious, Holly, what you did. Don't think just because you were there praying by yourself all alone that what you prayed didn't hold weight. You shook some of these entities, Holly. They're coming after you now. They're pissed because I had already given the fake Jesus right to these people, property, and buildings. And you had no right to go charging off against my will to bring them Jesus. Don't do it again. Anyway, so I'm sitting outside, right, Sarah? And I had my telescopes. I had seen Jupiter's 4 moons, and I was getting all happy about that, but I shouldn't have, because those are deities and they're fallen. I shouldn't have been looking at them in awe, like of their brilliance and stuff. Hey, it's Missy and Huntress. Sorry, Susan. All right, hang on, so let me finish. So I'm looking at my telescope and something came over me, and maybe you can help me figure it out, because I don't know if it was a memory or if it's an overactive imagination, which I'm not. Yeah, I'm creative, but not that creative. I think it actually happened to me, and I think it's true, but I don't know. I don't know, Sarah. So when I was looking at the telescope, the star, okay, so the star's far away. I have to use the telescope to see it. And how do I explain it? And I'm looking at it. So in the telescope, so I'm looking in the telescope, and the planets are beautiful and they're bright. And the telescope itself makes the planet look bigger, like Jupiter. It made Jupiter look bigger. If you take that telescope away, and then the moon stays that big. Are you following me? So you're looking at the moon through a telescope, or we'll say the moon. You're looking at the moon through a telescope, and it's big, and you're on the surface of the moon, and it's big, and it's right there in front of you, and big. Okay, so take the telescope away, and everything stays big like that. Does that make sense? Everything stays big. Or if you're looking through a telescope, you think something is way far away, and you think you're looking off into the distance at something far away. But when you take the telescope away, it's actually right there, very close up. It's like right there, like an arm's reach away. And I got thinking of this stuff. And I thought, Abba, like, was I ever a little kid looking at the moon, and like an entity came through the telescope at me, or something? Like, I'm not explaining this right at all. Could you imagine if you're looking at the moon through a telescope, and then all of a sudden something comes in between you and that moon? Like, say something comes and all of a sudden puts its eye right up to the other end of the telescope where you're looking. Oh. Okay. Oh. I don't know why I cringe. So I don't know if that's a memory, that something happened to me as a little kid when I was looking at the stars. And, or if it's just I was overthinking. I think it might be a memory. Thanks, guys. Oh, I love you, Deb. I'm happy to see you, honey. Hey, Susan. Missy! I still got to get back to you, sweetie. I have not been keeping my appointments. I've been a mess, Missy. I'm sorry. I'll just say it for what it is. Gotta fly. Oh, I love you, Deb. I'll see you soon. I hope. What a great conversation I had with you. I don't want you to go, Deb. You just learned that Archangel Michael, when he kicked Lucy out of heaven, said, "May the Lord rebuke you." Deb, that's a good thing. Instead of me saying, "I rebuke you," someone else brought this to my attention. I should say, "And may the Lord rebuke you." And I'm not sure of the difference of it. Like, well, me rebuking, that's just me rebuking. But if God rebukes you, ooh, I don't ever want to do anything that would force you to rebuke me. I love you. All praise, love, glory, and worship to you, Yude, love, hey. You are definitely my Savior, my one true living, infinite God and Creator, my Savior, my Holy Spirit. You're my everything and my number one. And I don't want to forget my first love. Because I got to get back in his obedience. You have a... Oh, Missy, I hope you feel better. I bind and cast down that migraine. Huge anointing. Deb said she had a huge anointing of the Holy Spirit a week ago. Everything changed in a moment. Oh, congratulations, Deb. I want to go before Heavenly Abba in prayer and fasting and get back. Get his anointing. Just to be closer with him. Congratulations, Deb. You inspire me to draw closer to him. I'm also in a bad place in my mind, Missy. I think telling him to rebuke it gives it more power. Thank you, Missy. So that's it. Saying, "Lord, rebuke you," there's more power in that because now it's God doing it, not me. Wow, I can just imagine all these people rebuking me now. Oh, Holly, may the Lord rebuke you. I don't think we should be able to rebuke each other. I think we should only be able to rebuke bad thoughts and entities and demonic spirits. I remember somebody trying to rebuke my altars. Whoa. If I was there in person, I bet you that one altar would have backhanded him. I kid not. They're programmed and they're not nice. My altars are just not nice. I can't make them. I try to make them nice, but it doesn't always work. And once you make an enemy out of my altar, she will never have you back again. There's a few altars like that where you can do whatever you want, but once you hurt me, of course you're forgiven, but I won't let you back in my life. Go ask the famous musician. And instead of me blocking him, which never worked because he'd get more IDs and reach out to me, instead of me blocking him, I decided to give him reason to block me. And he yelled at me, and he swore up and down he was going to block me. So I'm counting on him to keep me blocked and stay away from me too. I kid you not. One of my friends said to me that I was explaining the story, and one of my friends said, "That's stalking." I was like, you know what? That's right. He can come in at my life, and that's fine. And also what's okay is that he's got a girlfriend, but he's trying to get with me again. So I guess all that stuff is fine. So I yelled at him. and I said a bunch of bad stuff. It was January 10th. I called him up. I said, I ain't gonna be the one next to you when you blow out your candles, and I never will be the one standing next to you when you blow out your candles. That's it, I'm blocking you. Do you promise? Do you promise? So far, so good. And that is just another reason why I have a vow of celibacy. I do not want a guy like that. Because then if he was in my life, what, he's going to turn around, see some girl with an ass he likes, and he'll be floating off with her? No. I love my vow of celibacy. I love it. Because Yeshua is the only man for me, and he's perfect. All these people have walked with God before, so I want to walk with God. And the only way I can do that is if I'm celibate. Because I'm certainly not getting married. Not with my track record. No. I already got Yeshua HaMashiach. I already have his ring on my finger. I'm leaving it that way. And I don't think he wants me to have another man's ring on my finger anyway. Well, I got to get it fixed now because it broke. But this ring is never coming off my finger. And I will go get another one. So I want to stay Yeshua's. This ring doesn't even really feel the same because Seva's not here. All the more reason to always keep it on my finger. So I want to walk with God too. You know what I was telling Abba last night is I said, Abba, I want to go into all those places that you said girls can't go to. Now I know that there's a hierarchy and girls can't go to certain areas in Jerusalem because it's only men and they got to sit things out. I don't want to be inferior like that. Now, I know a man has his role and a female has her role. They're different. They complement each other. But I want to go into the center of the Holy of Holies. I want to go into all of these places that guys can go to except for their bathroom. Well, actually, no. Guys' bathrooms tend to be no lines for the toilet, cleaner, and you're always bound to meet a hottie in there, like a good-looking guy. I'm teasing. That's what I said to the 3 super soldiers that approached me December 2011. I cracked that joke with them. They scopolamine me, and I followed them right into the men's bathroom. Well, they brought me in there. And once I got in, they regressed me. I started to remember, but what was important was that I got off my prescription pills and I used marijuana to detox from those prescription pills. And it's so nice to be having this conversation with you and talking so openly with you. And marijuana is legal in New Jersey, but more than that, while I show you that card, I'm also going to show you this one. Just because I'm fully disabled and on medicine does not mean that I have no right to preach from a pulpit. I have just as much right as any healthy person does preaching from a pulpit. Now, if I wasn't disabled, I wouldn't need medical assistance, but I do. and I chose the best path that I could find that would help me with all of my diagnoses. I'm tired of the Christian community pummeling me as well as all of my friends over this cannabis issue. If someone has medical issues and they don't want to take prescription pills, they have just as much right to use cannabis. It's a much better way of life than taking pills, which are alchemy, sorcery, and witchcraft and pharmacon. They alter you. Well, cannabis comes in a prescription too. And I'm sick and tired of being demonized because I use medicinal cannabis. I've been disabled since 2004. Actually, before that, since Grandma died. I've been disabled since Grandma died January of 2002. Since then, for 20, oh my God, it's been 20 years. 20 years. Oh my God. It's been so long. Oh my goodness. 20 years? What was I saying? Yeah, I'm tired of being demonized. Abba told me, Holly, I made the plant. I made the plant for you. Go use it, and you can come off your prescriptions. I accept your prayer. You can come off your prescriptions, absolutely. So I think I made the best possible decision I could possibly make for my care and medical conditions. And shame to people like the couple in Maryland that took my medicine away from me and said I couldn't have it because they abused it. Now, I'm not saying that, if somebody says, I don't want that stuff in my house, I don't want that stuff in my house. All right, I can obey your rules. But the second I step outside, you've got no say. And that's pretty much how I did it, because I was coming up to New Jersey every month. So, sadly, I was going to the famous musician dude, and he was not reliable whatsoever. So, he'd be sitting at a bar, be a pain in the neck. Oh, we'll come to the bar. No, I don't want to come to the bar. I just got done driving 4 hours. Just bring me weed. I know you got carts in your house. Go home and get me a couple of sativa carts. Go hit up your son. That's where he was getting the carts from, was his son. So, when I did bring marijuana back with me, it was never as much as I needed. So I basically only got my medicine 1.5 weeks out of a month. 1 week to 1.5 weeks out of an entire month, I was able to take my medicine. My ex that collapsed my lung tried playing games with my medicine, and he wouldn't get any, and he wouldn't let me go to my friends to get any because they were guys and he was jealous. So he always supplied alcohol. So I started drinking. Then he had a problem with me drinking. But he took my medicine away, and he was playing games with me. Same thing in Maryland. Take my medicine away. Same thing in Tennessee. My cousin started playing games with me. I couldn't get my medicinal marijuana. I went a month without anything. Oh my God, was I miserable? The last month when I moved right before I left Tennessee. Oh, and then I met this guy off the internet. We had hung out for a couple of years in Perth's chat room, and he had said something about Tennessee. Well, it turned out he was 20 minutes down the road. I showed up at his house. I was like, yo, dude, I need smoke. I haven't had any, and I can't take it anymore. And he hooked me up. But at Maryland, what I do is when I walked Keeper, because it's legal in Maryland. You can go buy it at a dispensary, which I never did. I was so scared that if something happened or went wrong and I got arrested, they would throw Keeper and Sava in a pound and throw my stuff out on the curb. So I never wanted to chance it. But yeah, I never wanted to chance it to go to a dispensary. But when I was in Jersey, I was smoking it. Well, that was miserable. That was really miserable. I smoked it anyway. I'd only be able to bring like a gram back with me anyhow, because I didn't really have a dependable connect at that time. So yeah, for like 5 months, that was miserable. In 2019, for 5 months, I wasn't able to smoke. Oh my God, my chat room, what happened to it? You've been up for 24 hours? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Missy, I'm targeted. This morning, because I woke up, I've been up since 4 a.m. I could hear it in my one ear. It sounded like they were testing the pitches or testing the frequency. And I'm like, here we go again. No wonder why I'm craving the alcohol. Because I'm running from it. Because I heard the sounds and I'm like, oh no, that altered feeling is going to come over me. And then I'm really going to be screwed. I tried to smoke a bowl. I think I got like 2 hits. Maybe 3 hits. I didn't even smoke a bowl. I should have. I really should have smoked a full bowl. It normally takes me 2 bowls to even feel it. But I'm smoking through pain. I'm not trying to get high. That's why I want to eat it, because I get a better feeling in my body if I eat it. Oh, that's what I got to go to the doctor about. I don't know how to, like, work my prescription. I want to get tincture, gummies, and the carts. I want to have 2 tincture bottles, 2 bags of gummies, 1 cart, and an eighth of flour. But, so I need my prescription increased, doubled, so to take it from 1.5 ounces to 3. And then I need the doctor to help me figure out with the tincture and gummies how to manage. So the cart would be breakthrough pain or vomiting. I'm always going to have flour on me to some certain extent. My friends have to realize that medicinal cannabis is the same as pain management. That prescription is locked up. Nobody is allowed access to my prescription. No, I'm not Sharon. My name's Holly. And no, I'm not a drug dealer. Nor am I a drug addict. But I hope nobody has any intentions with my license, because they're going to be sorely disappointed. But, like, I need a doctor to tell me, like, right now, I only have flour and tincture, so that's all I have to work with. If I had money, I could go get everything I needed. Now, the doctor I want to go to so she can help me figure out how to juggle the tincture with the gummies and the cart. So right now, as it stands, I don't know what this guy's talking about, man. I really don't. Right? He has, now this is medicine. I won't show you that. Well, it doesn't really matter, right? Oh, and dispensaries smell so good too. All right, so he was trying to show me the dropper. And this dropper doesn't have it, but there's lines on the dropper. So you could get a quarter, a half, 3/4, or a full dropper, and it would have lines, and you could measure it. And so he's like, well, start easy, start with a quarter dropper. I was like, dude, the first time I ever came into contact with tincture, I used the entire bottle that day. I felt great. I felt good again. But I was like, yeah, whatever, dude. So, 5 dropper fulls, 4 times a day. If I stayed awake longer, I'd take it every 4 hours for pain. We know Minister Holly. You're too sweet, Sarah. Please don't call me that. I just want to be Holly. Sinning for that. The prescriptions are way worse. Yep. Very green medicine. It smells great. Yeah, the cannabis doesn't have any side effects. Good morning to you, beautiful. I was thinking of you this morning. Hi, Amanda. See if it's legal in New York. I've been praying for you, too. You had mentioned something yesterday, and I've been asking Abba to give you his grace and give you his guidance for the best decision for you. Hear my stomach? It is legal in New York, score. They say that you can't bring cannabis into other states because I read the paperwork. Yeah, my foot. Are you kidding me? If I travel, my medicine, my script is coming with me. And I went to a Volkswagen festival or show where you could camp out and they had Volkswagens and all that stuff. And it was a big, really cool show. I didn't camp out though. I was going to, but I didn't. Because I had Keeper and Seva, so I couldn't stay overnight. But the guy flew in, the host running around with the mic for the show. He flew in from California, and he's like, I use 3 bottles of tincture a day. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And then he told me what was wrong with him. I was like, oh, damn. But yep, he used 3 bottles of tincture a day. And these are 30 milliliter. And it's really cool too because it's got I'm not going to show you, but it's got a little label here and it has my name and my prescription number. And I got to tell you though, I think he did pretty good because I did that workout on Thursday. Now I asked this kid to give me pain relief. Now I am sore, my knees are killer. I think and I've been able to manage through the pain. I think the kid did all right. I just think that I need more. It's just not strong enough. The cannabis does help with that frequency ringing in my ears. I heard ringing, high-pitched, and loud sound. Mu metal helps. Mu metal. Cannabis is MK Ultra management too. Yeah. I would just send it to you to grow. Oh, hey, Victoria. How are you, sweetheart? I haven't seen you lately. Yeah, the papers say that you can't grow your own. You're not allowed to grow. I got a black thumb, so I'm not sure that I'd be good at it. And I threw out my bubblers because I went through that demonic attack. I had 2 bongs. One was for wax. That's another thing I want to get. When I have endometriosis, I suffer. That's what I got to ask them. Wax. The dab hits. Right? Dabs. Carts. When I get hit with endometriosis, those dab hits are going to come in handy. the dab hits will knock it out of me. Then I can, Roxy will love this one. And hi, Skylar. But anyway, I'll be able to come off the kratom and give it a break. And I want to come off the kratom for like 6 months. I want to come off the kratom for the entire spring and entire summer. My body needs a break. My metabolism needs it's too fast. So I'm like really wanting a break from kratom, but I want a 6-month break. I just want to stop it and walk away. And it's really helpful, but to do that, I need a lot of weed. Nah, you're fine, Sarah. You can call me whatever you want, just so long as you call me. That was my tummy. You got martial law now? You mail it. Really, Missy? That's a good idea. I was thinking about doing that with my vape pens when I had to go to a conference and I flew in from Tennessee to Long Island. Long Island. I should have mailed my e-pen to the hotel. Instead, I went and bought cigarettes, which sucked because then everybody at the conference was watching me stand outside smoking a butt. Breaking my covenant with Abba. She wouldn't know. They are freezing bank accounts and arresting people who stand up for the Freedom Convoy. Oh, I pray for those truckers. I got a bad feeling. And I pray for the truckers and their families. Have a black thumb, but also with the green. It just came natural to you, really? Edibles always work better for me. I put it in my coffee, perk with a bit of milk. Gotten very nauseous on edibles when I've taken too much. I don't think I can take too much. I really don't think I can take too much. I remember I was never able to mix alcohol and weed because the weed would just make me feel more alcohol. Now it's different. But I tell you, in high school, I hated marijuana. Hated it. You couldn't pay me to smoke. Then in my 20s, I dated a boy. Actually, what happened was my cousin came up from Florida, and when he did, I would sit there and roll his joints for him. I'd sit there and roll up a full pack of cigarettes worth of joints for him, dovetail it and everything. And finally one day I broke down and I smoked with him. And I got laughing. He was funny. My cousin was a pisser. He was a cousin when I was a little girl. I called him a pissant, and my grandmother put soap in my mouth for that. I never cursed again. But my cousin was funny. So there was a small period of time in there where I tampered with it, but I really didn't like it because I just go inside myself. I didn't like how it felt, and if I was already drinking, it would make me drunk. And I really always hated marijuana. Even in my clubbing days, my friends would be out back on the fire escape, smoking. Oh, you want some? You're funny when you smoke. Here, have some. You're funny when you smoke. And I'd be like, no thanks. And I'd walk past it every time. I hated it. But then when I had cervical cancer, I dated a guy, and he was an alcoholic, but he could get weed. And I noticed when I smoked weed, it increased the narcotic pain pill effect. So I wasn't taking as many pain relievers as normal, because instead of taking 4 pain pills, I'd take 2, smoke a blunt, and it would make it feel like I took 4. But then my cancer was cured and healed. So when it came time to detox, I heard that marijuana is good with detox, so I tried it. But again, I was really never into marijuana. Never. But I saw that it did work, and even when it did increase my the pain management pain pills, I still did not enjoy it. I feel, right? I feel high when I don't smoke. Honestly, I feel sober. I'm not after the head high. The two strains I got were for pain, energy, and focus. Focus. Yes, there's weed. People in the public don't understand. Yeah, there's actually weed that gets you focused, that gets you energy. I'm not sure. I like the way everything tastes. I got Sunshine OG, which is a sativa, a little bit of hybrid in it. And then I got White Durban. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I want to try every flavor they have. Don't like the feeling of anxiety. Yeah, he was asking me if I have any anxiety and panic attacks. Yeah, sometimes I do, but I think it comes from hybrid. I don't think it's from the sativa because I haven't had any anxiety or panic attacks. Ooh, come to think of it. Maybe it is the indica or the hybrid that makes me get a panic or anxiety attack. But once I get past the anxiety attack, I'm fine. I just got to cry it out for about 45 minutes and then I'm good. But that panic attack was probably coming anyway. Mixing alcohol and weed makes me sick sometimes. Doesn't do anything to, right, Amanda? Oh man, I would love to come to Canada. I'd love to visit you. I got MK memories. I had no clue what they were. The first time you smoked, you got MK Ultra memories. Me too. There was a couple times I smoked and I couldn't figure it out. So that's why I know that I have programming alters, because that alter probably reprogrammed me as soon as I remembered it. She probably reprogrammed me to forget those memories. But I kid you not, if I did smoke marijuana, I'd get inside myself. I guess maybe I was smoking too much and I should have only had 1 or 2 hits, not 4 or 5. But what do I know? And those memories would come back. I would think of James Caswell all the time. Him, Aaron, and Aaron. The man and the woman. Aaron and Aaron. So I would have memories of assignments that I was on, but I didn't know what they were, and I just passed them off. I figured it was like I had a dream. I thought it was just I had a dream. And that's what those MK Ultra memories were. But yeah, the medicinal marijuana breaks down the mind control, hypnosis, and programming. If I were asked, I do this with people. I ask them if they're a survivor. I ask them if they smoke weed. Almost all of them have. Some people consider themselves a survivor and they've never been through MK Ultra. I don't understand that mentality. I know we're a survivor of normal life, but I specialize in extreme torture and trauma. You've had a normal life. You're not a survivor. I met really traumatized and abused people. There were some people that came to me for counseling. Yeah, right? But seriously, what was that thought? And it just slipped away. There was this one woman, this one couple, this was going back a few years ago. She just recently told her husband that she's a survivor. She's been married to him, I don't know, probably her entire life. And she just recently told him that she's a survivor, and he fell apart. Fell apart. He's a pillar for her. He's strong for her. He embraces her. He loves her. He's certainly not going anywhere. He handled it like a champ. Man. But many years ago, she and I met and she was talking about the Skinner boxes, but she's like, Holly, not the ones that they put your full body on, but the ones that they just put on your head. You remember that horror movie, Saw, with that thing? With that device that would rip open your jaw? But anyway, it was a Skinner box. And there was a door on the front of it. So it was a square box. They put it over your head and a door in front of it. And they put things in it. Could be spiders. It was a device to torture us. But she was giving me her testimony. And I was like, oh my God. And then it was strange because one of her traumas, I think I was there to see one of her traumas. We were trafficked together. That's why I say birds of a feather flock together. When we wake up from these projects, we end up gravitating to each other. We really do. So it wouldn't surprise me if we were trafficked together. Oh, Victoria, my doors are always open to you too. Lower percentage doesn't work as well for pain management. What, the lower, Huntress, what, the lower percentages? I gotta figure out how to read these percentages. Nice. Look at this. Glass jars. Very professional. Can I show that? Yeah, it gives all the readings. Like how much? Oh, there's such a difference getting it from the dispensaries compared to the black market. It's so different. It's a lot better. Like, it's fresh, soft. They just grew it. You know, it's not old. It's got its potency because weed does get old. After about 6 months, if you got weed, it loses its potency. It's not good. Give me alcoholic, I felt like a drug. I wonder if there was more in there. Maybe Sarah. Me too. At sativa. Be seen as to finally come out to feel better. The 29% one was the best. I can't get that here. You mean 29% THC? Per dose, 9.41. So I guess, well, that's the teardropper. This one, my tincture does not tell me. 300 milligram THC tincture. That's not extra strength. Okay, 1,000 milligram would be extra strength. This is not extra strength. It says totals 282 milligrams THC, OMG CBD. Looks like it says 70% plus minus 5% THC. Total dose is 30. Take orally. So it says per dose THC 9.41. Oh, it's not OMG, it's 0 milligram. So my tincture is 0 milligram CBD, but then it says 282 milligram THC. What the hell does that mean? Just tell me, like, 82% THC. It's not, or I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. Come here and read it yourself. Essay and incest and stuff like that. But I'm not MK. You're not MK'd? I thought you were MK'd. put a baby on my porch. When I picked it up, it wasn't real. Oh, wow, Missy. Geez, Abba, what's the interpretation to that dream? Because I've had dreams I had a baby, or I've been pregnant, or I was carrying a baby. I think at that time in my life, that baby was a sign in my dreams that in that point of life, it was going to be very difficult for me. And it was at a critical point in my life, too. You ever have the dreams where you go into a bathroom and you go into a stall, say like a woman's room? And in my nightmares, I'd go into like a stall and the doors would gap apart really wide so people could still see you in the stall going to the bathroom. Have you ever had dreams that like that, where like you're trying to like go to the bathroom, but the doors kind of open and you're trying to hide yourself from people coming in, but you still gotta pee, and all the bathrooms, like, they might not have toilet paper, or they're all gross and disgusting, and it's like that through the whole bathroom. Even the other people would have to do the same thing that you're doing, but then you end up peeing on yourself. You ever have a dream where you pee on yourself? I had help from the cops were involved. He wrote a book about how he saved me. Really? At 12. And it was all New Age, demonic, astral. And now, wow, Victoria. I was in therapy for years and was never getting better, and I had alters writing about things I didn't understand. Old weed is like old coffee, not the best, but better than nothing, right? I can't do the writing. 29% is high. That would cost way too much here, and I'd have to go to the black market. Sarah, I am so sorry. That's the most demonic thing ever. I am so sorry for what you went through. I can't imagine surviving it. I pray for you and I pray for Canada. I'm MK. I was, describing other people who call themselves survivor but aren't. Yeah. Well, survivors can come in different forms. You don't have to always go through like a super soldier project. Like surviving incest, that's a survivor. Absolutely. What you guys have been through. My altar cooked last night. Look what she made. Yummy. What is it? It's what made that mess over there. At both sides of my sink. Now tell me that's not a demon. Yes, it is. That is totally a demon. Me too. Because I don't eat enough. I really don't. Ava has to work with me. But I make killer teriyaki chicken. Mmm. Oh, it's so good. This time, I've topped it with green onions. What are they? Not scallions. Shallots. But I used sesame seed oil. I sauteed up the garlic. I used a lot of garlic. It says like a tablespoon of garlic, but I put like 2 or 3 tablespoons of garlic in. I saute up the garlic. in the sesame seed oil. Mmm. Oh, this is good. Mmm. I wish I wasn't tired all the time, because then I would cook every time I'm hungry and I would eat well. I love my cooking. The reason why I like it is because, like, I cut off all the fat and cartilage and skin. Anyway, it's chicken. Oh my gosh, Sarah. Teriyaki chicken. Yeah, so I take, like, I guess you'd say a tablespoon of sesame seed oil. It's a tablespoon, well, technically it's a tablespoon of sesame seed oil in the pan or skillet. And then it says a tablespoon of garlic chopped up really small. I use 2 or 3 tablespoons because I like garlic. Probably 2 tablespoons. I don't use too much. Probably only up to 2 tablespoons. And then, so I saute up the garlic. And then I put in the chicken breast. You can use whatever you want, but I cut it up bite size. And I put in the chicken breast. I add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. Mix those together. I add actual sesame seeds themselves. You don't have to, but I do because I just like them. But it's like 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, and then brown up the chicken, and then voila, you're done. It's really easy and it tastes awesome. And even fried rice is really easy to make. I have a skillet. That's nice. It's big too. The length of the microwave. So that skillet is awesome. And I make fried rice, and that's pretty easy too. That's only a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce, shallots, an egg, and white rice. It's pretty much all fried rice is it white rice with soy sauce and an egg. Oh, this stuff is good. Mmm. Mm-hmm. That came out perfect too, because that bag of rice with the pound of chicken was just right. I have the same chicken to rice ratio. It's got to be even, just the right amount of rice with the chicken. And it's even good cold. Bless us all who have gone through this. May He bless us all. I pray in agreement with you, Missy. Yeah, they start abusing infants early on. For the practice I was in, they start the abuse while you're still in the womb. Ooh, you're going to make a stew today? Nice. Oh, I'm sorry for your ears, Sarah. I'm so glad that I saw that I had left out my chicken and rice on the counter and put it away before it was too late. I feel like I'm going to vomit. Why did that happen? My stomach. It's the kratom. It's the kratom. I don't mean to be rude, but can you give me a minute to use the ladies' room? thank you. Well, my stomach starting to feel better. If you ever take too much kratom, you vomit. I've always taken kratom on an empty stomach. The capsules were better because I'd sit and I just thought I just saw Seva. It's my gray shirt and gray pants hanging up over the chair. Anyway, if you overdo the kratom and you have that feeling of nausea come over you, go have a couple of puffs of your medicinal cannabis. It'll stop it instantly before you vomit. Bringing you all with a field trip with Seller. Bind and cast down the programming you just reminded me I'm going to speak up about some. Goes away and that she is healed from head to toe. Oh, I pray that you're healed from head to toe, honey. Be careful. I pray a hedge of protection around you. Yep. It worked. They are about to use IRAD. What's IRAD, Victoria? I meant to ask you. Earlier when I started this video, going on 3 hours ago, I saw an angel of light on my bed, and then I saw the air move. It was moving around on the bed. It went back up to the pillows and then over, and I saw it sparkling. I even saw the air moving. All right, I wonder why it's there. One hour away, but I'm back home. But if you ever do overdo it with kratom, honestly, you can have a couple of puffs of cannabis and it'll take the nausea away. Typically, if I do vomit from the kratom, I feel better afterwards. And that's another thing. If I get my prescriptions sorted out, I can take a break from kratom. But more than that, I won't ever have to deal with the side effect. I wouldn't say there's side effects, but there's some drawbacks when it comes to kratom, and that nausea is one of them. You can't smoke cigarettes with kratom because that will cause you to be nauseated with an upset stomach and headache. So, wow, this chicken really did come out. Holly, I'm so proud of you. I'd be even more proud if you eat. Sour D is good for nausea. I overdid it with the sour D. I've sinned. I repent for alcohol drinking because I didn't take it in communion. It was beer, it wasn't wine, but that's just technicalities. Abba, I don't mean to abuse your wine and your fruits, and I repent. Abba, I'm locked into cigarette smoking worse than I ever was. You know, you see that pack of cigarettes at the bottom of my hallway, and you see that 20 milligram vape pen I got. I didn't mean for it to be 20 milligrams. 5 would have been okay, but just anyway. What else? Oh, this is a sin for me. This is an addiction, and this is serious. Just as serious as drinking. And now, it may just be a soda, but Abba, Abba doesn't weigh sin. He doesn't say, well, if you have a Coke, that's less bad than having a beer. No, it's the same bad because I'm not addicted to alcohol. I'm addicted to Coca-Cola. Not cocaine, Coca-Cola I'm talking about. If I can. Aw, Amanda, I hope you feel better. I'll be praying for you. But please make her feel better. Please lift it off of her and carry it for her until it goes away. Yes, innocent. So, I don't mean to be rude. I really don't know what to take away from the reading of Joel. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. This is what I take away from Joel. I gotta remember something about Joel to put it on the map. I should write this down. Habakkuk. Oh, we still gotta do Daniel. That's gonna take me a while to read. All right, Joel. What I take away from Joel is, and I am the Lord your God. So you shall know that I am the Lord your God. I love you, Abba. I want everything that has anything to do with you, Abba. I want a really cool role, too, in the Holy Bible, so to speak. You know how Ezekiel had a role, Daniel had a role. Well, if you ever do update it, so to speak, okay, we only have this time period, but if you go and you add all the other time periods up until this time period, I would want you to have the book of Holly in there. You know what I mean? So I want I want you to give me something really cool to do for you, Abba, that nobody else but me can do. I'm kidding. I'm trying to make myself invaluable and indispensable. Wait, I'm trying to make myself valuable and indispensable to you, Abba. All right, I think I'm going to have to get going. I don't mean to be rude, guys. I can't take you with me. I can't because I will completely lose you. You're addicted to Coke because your body is starving, trying to get calories any way it can. All right. All right. I will eat my 3 days a week. Maybe if I'm lucky, 4 days a week. I get my vitamins and I eat good. I do half good for part of the week and then half bad for the other part. It's like I never can get a foothold to just stay constantly good and every day constantly taking my vitamins. I don't mean to be like it. Just sometimes, Abba, the days run together and I don't see any difference between them. I love you, Heavenly Abba. All praise, love, glory, and worship to you, Abba. So, but yeah, I grabbed a soda this morning when I grabbed nicotine. And no, I didn't buy carts for the vape. I gotta just quit. Kratom tea for the pain, feeling so sore from head to toe. I hope you feel better, Missy. I hurt my lip. It feels like I split my lip. But I don't know what it is. I think somebody drained my cell phone data. I'm not going to be able to change my phone number. Instead, I got to get more money because what I'm going to do starting next month is buy the $60 plan so I can have unlimited data, and then I'll never have this issue again. But then I'll have to always stay paying that $60 plan. I don't. I like my $45. Yeah, it's $48 a month for me. All right, I'm gonna get going, guys. I gotta get motivated. Oh, look at that, 9:50. The liquor store's been open for 50 minutes, and I'm not there yet. I'm kidding. I know I said yet, but I'm still kidding. I wish I was married so I could tell my husband to please cook for me. Page, check what they are doing in Ottawa. I will, Victoria. Thank you for calling my attention to it. I just changed my plan to unlimited yesterday. Really? Or check. Yeah, because because I call HTV my ministry, my pulpit. I will have to let you guys go. I don't want to, but I could, but I have to put up an icon. You know what? I should just get going because I've been talking for 3 hours, and if I don't get going now, I'm not going to get anything done. And I have to mop the kitchen and bathroom floors, and I got to vacuum this whole place, and then I got to make sure this table is all cleared off. It has to be completely spotless. Look at my messy kitchen table. I don't have anything out. I don't have any contraband out, do I? Let's see. No, I don't. There's no contraband. Can't get myself in trouble. So, all right, guys, I'm going to head out. And plus, I got to take care of that grenade that went off. At least I got my clothes done. And boy, I had too big of the large washing machines, like the really big washing machines. I had them stuffed full, two of them. One of them was my clothes. Another one, I washed my jackets. These I washed. I love you, Victoria. I hope everything's going well for you, honey. It's good to see you. For Fire phone with unlimited data. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to buy a new cell phone because LG doesn't make cell phones anymore, which means they don't have any of the glass protectors for the screen. So when this breaks, I have to buy a new cell phone. Worse off, they require this thing called money for it. Yeah. So apparently I have to first go knock off a bank and then I can. But anyway, they don't make like the screen protectors. And this one that I have on it is busted up. So when that goes, when my screen protector goes, my cell phone itself is shortly behind it because I'm always dropping this. Always. I'm a klutz. Fire phone. What's a fire phone? I'll be your getaway driver. Sweet. You are a pilot. Mike, make this car grow wings. Sounds good. I'll even take you down an arm. Even though you're down an arm, I'll still take you as my getaway driver. I'm an equal opportunity employer. Okay, so I'm looking forward to it. Rita's coming. I can't wait to see her. She's going to wear me out, though. I can tell you that right now. She's got a ton of energy. If I could have a quarter of that woman's energy, I would have already had this house cleaned. Oh, you know what? When Rita gets here, maybe she can help me. I've got writer's block, and this one prayer I'm writing, I want it to come out good. And this poor girl is probably like, Holly, blow me off. I didn't blow her off. I've been in a really bad place in my mind. Meter me. You're going to have to stay. I just saw it. I bind and cast you down in Yeshua's name, floating through my kitchen. What is going on? So how many do we have here? That's one entity. I think it's like a serpent or kind of snake. It must be a powerful one because it made the air ripple. And then I just saw a little, I don't even know what to call it. When I started this video too, when I first started it, I noticed an orb. I didn't see it face to face, but when I started to read Joel, I should have said something right then and there. I had my hand in front. Anyway, I was reading Joel, and I saw a white orb fly past my hand, and I saw it in the camera. The thing is I was looking straight at the camera, had my hand between me and the camera, and I saw a white orb fly past my hand, but I saw it in the camera, not in real life. So it brought its buddies. If it's not legions, those thousands of demons, then what is it? It's got to be legions. It's disguising itself. It wants me to think it's just one when really it's legions. Why is it on my bed, though? Abba, of all the places this thing is can you reveal to me why it is on my bed, Abba? Is it some... Okay, so I have a vow of celibacy. So I don't touch myself. That's a vow, it's a celibacy. But also, I'm not gay, so I really don't want to be touching and feeling a girl's body. I had to throw that in there. No, but seriously, I have a vow of celibacy, so I don't make a mistake. I don't covet to try to get me out of physical pain. So there's none of that. I won't let somebody try to even sneak a kiss. I don't like that crap. I don't really like being touched. But Abba, why on my bed? Absolutely nothing going on in my bed. And it's going to stay like that too. I just saw another dark thing run right past me. I bind and cast you down in Yeshua's name. It looked like about 3 feet tall. A black image of somebody running by. Hey, it's Telly's in Yeshua's name. Thank you. So, my dreams, because I have a vow of celibacy, so as far as sex, we've already answered that question in its entirety. I have no sex life, and it's staying that way. No, I don't masturbate. I guess maybe I'm being attacked in my dreams, Abba. Casting spells on me when I sleep. Making me sleep 5 hours a day so I get nothing done and my sleep is broken. I bind and cast down witchcraft, sorcery, necromancy, magic, sigils. I bind and cast it down if someone has done it against me in Yeshua's name. I bind and cast down satanic rituals and sacrifices that have been done against me in Yeshua's name. I bind and cast down voodoo, witchcraft, paganism, whatever pagans do, sorcerers, warlocks, whatever any of these people have done against me. I bind and cast that down in Yeshua's name. Heavenly Abba, go and please reveal yourself directly. Reveal yourself to that person and engage them for what they've done in Yeshua's name. So that would be the only other reason why a demon would be on my bed. So they're attacking me in my dreams. Is that why I can't remember my dreams in the morning when I wake up? I bind and cast down the blindfold that they put over my eyes in Yeshua's name. What else, Abba? What am I overlooking, Abba? Please tell me in Yeshua's name. I have Safi here. She's praying in agreement with me, as well as the rest of my chat room. Heavenly Abba, I pour the blood of the Lamb on my chat room. Please put their full armor on in Yeshua's name. No demons may jump in Yeshua's name. No demons can conjure their buddies in Yeshua's name. I repent for my sins, Abba. All praise, love, glory, and worship to you, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. I love you. My Yeshua, Yeshua, Yeshua. I love you. All praise, love, glory, and worship to Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh in Yeshua's name. Okay, you powers, principalities, demonic spirits, and aliens, interdimensional beings. Now that you saw me worship my great, grand, almighty I am, now you can have the pleasure of watching me get rid of you. I bind and cast down principalities, powers, demonic spirits, aliens, aka angels, all types of interdimensional beings in Yeshua's name. I bind and cast down the lying, stealing, deceiving spirits in Yeshua's name. I bind and cast down the lustful, seducing, familiar spirits. I bind and cast down the fake Jesus, the false divine light. In Yeshua's name, that false Holy Spirit, I bind and cast that down too in Yeshua's name. Abba, please reveal to me what's going. It is that, right? Just like they did in Maryland. Just like they did a spell against me in Maryland. I knew they did. I knew they did. And when that spell was done against me, I was shut down. My radar was all screwed up. My antennas were bent, so to speak. And I was attacked by a djinn. They manipulated the dream, and then the djinn attacked me, and it also physically manifested in that room that night. I knew something was wrong. At the very end in December, I prayed and fasted for 4 days, and that's when that couple got all upset and turned around on me. And at that time, who was attacking me? Pagans were attacking me. Witches, pagans, necromancers. I bind and cast down anything necromancers have done against me. I bind and cast down chants and incantations that have been done against me in Yeshua's name. Please give me back my dreams and visions and my gift of sight in Yeshua's name. Please don't let the evil ones win in Yeshua's name. Please keep Keeper, Seva, and I invisible to the enemy. Heavenly Abba, please take your sword and stab it in the ground between me and the enemy, and please do not let them cross to get at me and my family in Yeshua's name. That's why my dreams have been all wacky. When I was talking to Ethan, it's been like that. Now it's a couple of weeks where I have a dream, but I don't remember it in the morning. That's not right. That's not right. I should be remembering my dreams. Abba, somebody's done something against me, and I ask your permission to use your authority and your power and your strength to pour the blood of the Lamb on the weapons that they've formed against me and that they are using against me. Please break and crush all their evil assignments against me, my home, my finances, my car, my cat, my dog, in Yeshua's name, Selah. Please give me my memories back of Seva, because I noticed, Abba, something's going on, because I can't remember Seva, and I had her for almost 13 years. I want to say not the Sarah in my chat room, but there's a gang stalker with the same name. She's got a bunch of cohorts with her. I called her out for doing necromancy, but she's got pagan friends. Which friends? Other necromancer friends in Yeshua's name. Don't let them have at me. All those higher ups, I bind and cast down the principalities that they're using to advance their evil deeds in Yeshua's name. Don't let the enemy advance in Yeshua's name. I pray the enemy, whatever the enemy is conjuring up and trying to summon, I pray it fall I pray the enemy's prayers fall folly and foul onto the floor and go nowhere. So whatever sacrifice or ritual, or it could be, those plastic Christians that are sold out to the fake Jesus, yeah, I don't trust them either. I bind and cast down these satanic rituals, prayers that are even made in the name of Yeshua by bad people that are fallen. I bind and cast that down in Yeshua's name. Abba, please go engage these people directly. Call them out for what they're doing. Let them know that their evil deeds have been exposed. And I have a feeling I know who it is that sent it in Yeshua's name. All right. I felt it was her too, Haas, right? You felt that too, Seller? Maryland is full of witches and warlocks. Oh, yeah, Tellies. I think those people, I think that she was actually a witch. She's got the beady eyes that looks just like that Rex-looking dinosaur thing, that shapeshifter I saw as a kid in the dumps. She had the same beady eyes as that. I could tell from her picture there was no Yeshua. I actually, when I saw her eyes in a picture, she sent it to me. She sent me a picture of her and her husband. I was like, I can never meet this person. I can never meet her in person. I can never meet her in person. And that's what I said to her right off the bat. Nope, I don't meet people off the internet. No, I do not. It's not safe. I don't meet people off the internet. No. Well, what about coffee? I'll drive 2 hours and you drive 2 hours and we'll just have lunch. No, no, no. But she was constantly calling. And because I was going through a heartbreak, I was willing to talk to anybody. And she just weaseled her way in. She just weaseled her way in. And they'll even tell you, they found me on the internet. Well, my question is why were you searching for me in the first place? Why were you searching for me? Well, we found Holly on the internet. Why did you come find me? Why did you come find me? Guys, when somebody says, if you're a targeted individual and people say, well, I found you on the internet and that's how we became friends, you best question their ulterior motives, especially if you pass up a red flag and you're looking at the picture and you're not seeing Yeshua shine through her. But when you look at the husband, he looks like he's partially got Yeshua. Like he looks like he could be a Christian. He's not the elect. I can tell you that much. I would say a follower of Christ. He's just and only a follower. He doesn't have spiritual gifts. Abba has blessed him with a beautiful life, and that is his gift. But as far as spiritual gifts, the guy's blind as a bat. He doesn't have any. But Abba has blessed him with a really great life, great finances, great family, great everything. So, can't ask for more. If Abba's already given you, like, all these great things, you have to appreciate what you have, not lust and yearn for what you don't have. But I kid you not, when I saw her picture, I didn't see Yeshua in her eyes. I saw these beady eyes that reminded me of that T-Rex looking dinosaur. And before I even got there, before I even left New Jersey, I had a dream, and I didn't know what I was looking at, who, what, when, where, or anything at the time. But I had a dream that I love you too, Bonnie. I don't know if you're watching the video, but I love you too. What the hell was I saying? I had a dream about Tennessee and Maryland before I even left New Jersey. But I wasn't sure who I was looking at. I just saw this elderly couple, but it threw me because they had two dogs. My cousin in Tennessee had two dogs. So, and where I was in Tennessee, I dreamed about the camper in my dream. And when I showed up at the camper, it looked the same way in person as it did in my dream. Same exact thing, layout, colors, everything. And I had seen the camper, and I saw these two dogs running in, and then I saw this elderly couple, but they made me, they were running back and forth from house to house, and then I had to leave, and then I had to bounce from house to house, and I couldn't understand what it was. Well, the camper that I saw turned out to be Tennessee. The two dogs were my rotten cousin's dogs, and the two elderly people, that was Maryland. And they were going from houses to houses because from the second that couple came in my life, I was bouncing around from house to house to house to house to house to house because of them. Because they just knew better. And oh, Holly, you're in danger. Yeah, I'm in danger of you, lady. You and your bad advice is what I'm in danger. I used to tell her, I'm like, you're doing a Max Spears on me. You're doing a Max Spears. You got me out of my territory like they did to Max, around people I don't know, places I'm not familiar with, and that puts me at a disadvantage, and this is when you come in and kill me, right? She was already holding one of my letters from the Social Security office, holding it. Oh, it must have gotten mixed up in the mail. No, you're trying to take power of attorney. I know you're a slippery sucker kind. Lady, I told you, I have an attorney. Oh, well, let us pay for your attorney bills. Let us pay for your attorney bills. My attorney said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Holly doesn't have a bill with me. Oh, yeah, but she used you to go to court this time, and she had to use you for that other thing, and she had to have you for this thing. Yeah, Holly doesn't have a bill. There's nothing for you to pay for. Click. Think, 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 think. Holly, what's wrong with them? I'm not going to accept any more of their phone calls. And also, Holly, there's a conflict of interest right here. I think it's really fishy that they want to pay your tab. I was like, if they want to pay anything, let's overturn the judge's decision. He made a bad decision. When I brought that back to the couple, oh no, Holly, oh no. But yet Sarah Adams acts up, or one of my other friends is getting trolled on the internet, and they want to lawyer up, but not lawyer up for when a judge makes a bad decision and puts me in a vulnerable and jeopardizing position. That plastic Christian couple, I kept telling them, the prosecutor's office was told that I'm coming back to New Jersey. And I'm still telling the prosecutor's office that I'm coming back to New Jersey. I am not setting up residence in any state. I am not signing a lease anywhere with anyone. I didn't even want to change my post office address. I didn't even want to change that. But I did. I changed it to Townsend, Tennessee. I changed it to Germantown, Maryland. The Social Security office knew where I was the whole time, and the prosecutor's office knew where I was the whole time. But everybody else, I told them that I was in a safe house. So for 9 months, everybody thought I was in a safe house, and they did not know where I was. They didn't know because I was hiding from my ex. And I should still be hiding from my ex, but the gang stalkers around here doxed me and gave out my private information publicly. Rotten scoundrels. Rotten mutts. I don't want to put scoundrels down. I just saw a clear vision of a policeman outside my door. Really? I thought you were about to say outside my door because I'm about to walk outside. I pray hedges of protection around you, Sarah. Wow. Heavenly Abba, if anybody's astral traveling, remote viewing, or sending telepathic messages to Sarah, I bind and cast down the demons they're using to do that. And Heavenly Abba, please send down your warring angels to break and sever the cords and bonds they have set up against Sarah, as well as the devices. And please have your warring angels slam the person back into their body. In Yeshua's name, I pray for Sarah and against whatever's happening to her. In Yeshua's name, Selah. Don't let the kingdom of darkness send her scary thoughts. Rebuke it, Sarah. In Yeshua's name. Get rid of it. Emotional vampire. Oh, yeah, they were emotional vampires and constantly touching me. I couldn't stand it, man. I think this woman expected me, because I have alters. I think she expected me to curl up in a fetus position, start sucking my thumb and crawl in the crib with her grandson and start playing patty cake. Oh, Holly, watch Sybil Shepherd with me. There's so many similarities between you and her. No, actually, there are no similarities between her and I. I've already seen the movie. I'm programmed. She wasn't. And then she get her husband on my case. Well, why don't we watch a movie for Christmas? Nah, because I want to sit on the phone with my friends. With Peanut, as a matter of fact. I don't want to be sitting there. Why? So your wife can be like, looking at me instead of watching the movie? No, thanks. I already did that one time, and it was one time too much. I kid you not. The woman sat there watching me instead of the movie. Sadly, we watched 2 movies in a row. So for 4 hours, oh, you reacted like that? Why'd you react like that? I didn't expect you to react like that. Oh, that's not a reaction that I would expect from Holly. Oh, I don't expect that reaction from Holly. I didn't think Holly would react like that. Shut up. You don't know Holly. You're not my mother, so get off. And I'm not a lesbian, so get off. Yes, she lived as a lesbian. I don't know why she's married to a dude. I really don't. And I hate hypocrites. All right. Sarah, praying hedges of protection. So I'm going to let you guys go. I've been yipping for 3 hours and going on 20 minutes. I really do have to clean, and it's 10 o'clock. I do have to eat. I got to check my bank account. If I got money, I'm going to go and grab a bunch of containers of cottage cheese, because when my company comes, I'm not going to be cooking or anything like that. So I'm going to have something that I can grab easily. And I know anything I make, they're not going to eat because they're healthy. They eat like vegetables, primarily vegetables, and I don't. So I'll be back. I love you, Tellies. I hope you hang in there. And I'm praying for Abba to relieve your situation. I'll do prayer and fasting for you, Tellies. So today, when I fast today, because I'm going to skip over a meal, I don't mean to. I fast it for you, Tellies. I'm going to pray for Abba to answer, to give you favorable answers to your prayers and questions to him. All right? So I'm going to be praying with and for you, Telly. My pleasure, Telly. You are? Time served. Wow, Susan. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. I got to clean, and I'm going to go to the store. And it's Sabbath. If I go to the store, then I'm making somebody work, and I've broken a commandment. So I pretty much never held the Sabbath holy, because even going to a store, oh, jeez. I'm going to have to go to the store. Abba, after this, something's got to give, Abba, and it's me. I really need to keep the Sabbath holy, and please help me to do so, Abba. May this be the last time I break a commandment. I feel really bad about breaking commandments, Abba. I don't want to, and I certainly don't mean to. But I'm going to have to get cottage cheese. What else can I have on hand? I got a hot dog. They're pretty easy to make. Tuna fish is pretty easy. I could put some together now. That way it would already be together. All right, guys. Holly, listen, we are learning about the Sabbath. We need to grow into it. Man, not man for the Sabbath, right? Sabbath was made for man. Follow the 10 plus commandments. There are many. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you have a nice day. I never did any of my broadcasts this week. Talk about not keeping appointments. Right dead in front of me, not keeping appointments. I didn't broadcast Demon Chronicles. I didn't go on Fringe. Oh, man. You know what? I beat myself up so much all the time in the past already, Abba. I'm not trying to be rude or arrogant, but I'm not beating myself up. Do you know how many times I've beaten myself up unnecessarily in the past? Okay, well, this time I'm clearly wrong, and I know it, and I repent, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it this time. I'm just not. All right, you have an awesome day. Write down your schedule. Yeah, and when you know it, Tellies, Huntress took care of that for me. And this is what it looks like. Completely empty. What's the date? February 19th. All right. And yes, yes, he does. Yudhe Vavhe loves Holly Television. All right, folks, I guess that's a wrap for I Want My HTV. And I am Holly Baglio, your hostess with the mostest. Keeping Yeshua as our focus. And I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me for 3.5 hours, because I know I had fun hanging out with you guys. I really liked our conversation. What were we talking about? Oh, that was the one thing I've been trying to say for the past 3.5 hours. The Stargates. There's said that it's legend. It said that there's a link up on my profile pages somewhere about the Stargates, and this guy, he said that certain people, when they show up at the Stargates will automatically open and work because of that person's genetics. And that there's a Stargate in Egypt that's still working and operational, where things come out of it. There's ancient alien architecture. You've heard of the H blocks, right? Yeah, I want to see them, those H blocks. That whole area just is too familiar to me. It feels like I've been there. I feel like I've been to some of these pyramids as an active super soldier. But it said that some of these Stargates, if they're still working, certain people, if they have the right DNA, just by walking up to the Stargate, the Stargate will work. You know what I want to do? Walk up to a Stargate. I want to see. I want to do the one in Egypt. I bet you it would light up. You better not tell the CIA that. They're going to have me on the next plane out to Egypt. Better get 2 tickets because Keeper will be coming with me. But yeah, it said that certain. Now, I'm sure those plastic Christians in Maryland are going, oh, yeah, I bet if I walk up to it, it'll open for me because everybody's got reptilian blood in them. Oh, and don't you know, Holly, there are clones made of me. There's no reason there would be a clone made of me, but they wasted the money and made a clone of me anyway because everybody's got clones of them. No, they don't. That would be pointless, stupid, and ridiculous. You've got no gifts anyway. What, a clone of you would be a waste of time, space, and money. Almost like, never mind, I won't say it. Almost like the original. I repent. So, but yeah, honestly, hey, Roxy, I was thinking of you and Skylar earlier today. 3.5 hours ago. But yeah, I'm kind of curious. I really would like to walk up to, if I had an opportunity, yeah, I would walk up to it, see if it lit up. Actually, maybe I wouldn't. On second thought, having said that out loud, maybe I wouldn't because I wouldn't. I take that back. I wouldn't walk up to it. I repent. I'd be curious to see if it worked, but I would probably choose purposefully not to walk up because if I walked up to a Stargate, then I would be intentionally engaging with these other entities and deities. And Heavenly Abba is a jealous Heavenly Father. He doesn't want me talking to nobody. And we're married. He doesn't believe in divorce. So he's a jealous God, and I'm not going to give him any reason to be tempered. Plus, I wouldn't want that thing lighting up. And then what if something from another... I thought that was a dream. I thought that was a dream or a movie. I thought it was a movie or a dream. I don't know. There's a portal, a Stargate, kind of like a round Stargate, and it looks like it's in a cave, and it's got jagged edges all around it. And somebody crawls actually, because you got to get around the stalactites and stalagmites, and it's kind of almost like a tunnel. On the other side, it looks like clear blue skies and beautiful scenery. But somebody kind of walks/crawls into the portal, making their way around all these jagged rocks sticking up and all over. And they're looking straight forward, and they walk through the portal, and they get to the other side. They go through it, and then they turn around, and they holler back to the second person, come on, let's go. Don't look down. Look straight forward at me and come through. Just look straight forward in the tunnel. Don't look left. Don't look right. Don't look up. Do not look down. And the second person starts their journey to walk through the portal. Well, they didn't stay looking straight forward at the first person. Nope. Instead, they look off to the side, and they happen to glance down. And even just a glance down is your doom. And that second person, they happen just to glance down at the stalagmite to walk around it. And they didn't keep their eyes forward. And they glanced down to see where to place their next footstep. And then they went to look back up to the first person. But instead of that happening, the second person ended up plummeting down, all the way down. It was like almost off the edge of a cliff. They plummeted down and they fell in the cracks of this portal. It's something like it was really paramount to keep your eyes forward and fixed forward, like you're looking through the tunnel all the way through the other side and out the back. You just want to look forward and stay looking forward. But this person glanced down, and it turned out that when they glanced down, they fell into a whole different world, and they would have to climb back up to get where they just were, but there's no way to climb back up where they just were, but they have to find a way out of there somehow. That person has to find a way out somehow, but now they're stuck living a whole new life in this other place until they find their way out and get back up to the spot where they were at in the portal. I don't know if that was a dream or a movie. Hey, Tobis, how are you? Oh, I love you, Tellies. It's great to see you, Tobis. So I don't know if that's what that was that I'm thinking of. If it's, I don't know. But, yeah, on second thought, I wouldn't walk up to a Stargate, because if it did happen to be activated because of my genetics, things would be walking through, in and out, and I wouldn't want that on my head. I would have a lot of guilt knowing that, oh, geez, this Stargate opened, and now there's another dark entity in the world. But I'd be very curious. Even James Casbolt, too. I'd like to put him next to one of these Stargates. I bet you that thing would light up like it's Christmas time. Because you got to have certain DNA, I guess. And no, not everybody has reptilian DNA in them. They don't. If they did, this world would be nothing but slithering snakes. And they wouldn't be able to. So, okay. Parallel dimension, right? Like a parallel dimension. So, for them, they have to live a whole lifetime trying to climb back up, trying to find a way back up to the actual portal, and they could spend a whole lifetime trying to find their way back, and then they run a risk of never finding their way back to the portal and forever being lost in that place and dying in that place. Now to the other person, now to the first person who entered into the portal, kept their eyes straight and focused through, straight back through, toward to the end and the back of the portal, and they just kept their head straight. Now that first person, for them, it would only be a couple of minutes. It would only feel like a couple of minutes, but to the person that fell, it could be 5 years, 10 years, or a whole entire lifetime before they find their way back up to where they were standing by the portal to begin with. So that's, I don't know, but there was something about don't look left, don't look right, don't look up, don't look down, just look straight forward until you get through to the other end. Don't look at anything else. I don't know. Maybe a movie. Maybe I was in a parallel dimension. I don't know. You gotta go. Yeah, you know what, Tellies? I'm gonna follow you out. All right, guys, I'm gonna get going because I'm going to need to clean and cook and get a move on. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out and reading Joel with me and BSing. Look at this. Oh my goodness. No, she is not spoiled. What would ever give you the idea that my dog is spoiled? What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I see you're working because the tail's wagging. It's so cute. My brown-eyed girl. You got whale eyes. Big whale eyes. She does. They're big. They're very big. All right, I'm really going. Yes, and I will be taking a shower because I'm going to have company. Oh, thank you for hanging out with me, Sarah. My book mentions an underground cave, but maybe it was a portal. Ooh, could be. Good morning, Susan. I love you, Susan. You have a lovely day too, honey. It's good to see you, Susan. All right, guys, I'll see you later, okay? I'll probably be back. I missed running panels yesterday. I missed Dan Bedoni on Truth Radio show last night. I'm so upset. By the time he was going to sleep and off air, I was waking up. Sarah gives you kisses, Keith. All right, guys, so I will see you probably later on after my house is clean. I'll probably run a video. Well, maybe we can start reading Daniel and then talk about the prophecies and that, because I'm kind of curious. But that's going to probably take me about 3.5 hours to read. No, probably 2.5, 3 hours. And I want to read it all in one sitting so I can grasp the whole picture and not like pause or take a break, you know? Because once I get in that mindset, I'd like to take in the whole account. All right, I love you guys. I hope you have a good day.